Now almost everybody has them, or seems like everyone's building either it or a Bear Hawk.
Yeah, the Bearhawk is the other. I mean, it's just a huge beast. And then not on top of that, we got the Backcountry Super Cub Boss.
Yeah.
And that is just an insane thing. And they're about to modify the wing on that into something even more insane.
Oh, that's going to be awesome. I mean, it already has ridiculous performance. Huge flaps. I mean, the flaps are obnoxiously huge, but they look great when it's on approach.
Girl, shake those flappy dappies.
Them flappy dappies.
Yeah.
I like it.
Anyway, let's go over to the chat right now and see who's hanging out. Oh, we got a whole group of people right now hanging out in the chat. Got to say hi to. We got Little ADK.
Okay.
One of our volunteers. Hey, what's up, Little ADK? We got Mustang Pilot 1. Ray Powell is here, of course, from Berwick upon Tweed in the UK, saying "Chocks away." I don't know if I've ever seen that from him before. I love that.
Yeah.
Chocks away. That's the thing I learned in the air show community. They say when you're getting ready to leave a party or something, they say, "Oh, I'm pulling chocks."
Yeah.
Pulling chocks to get out of here. Aviator Ford, Austin Ford, is going in for a type reading in a couple of weeks, but he'll watch this later tonight. Charles Dorn, Tim Fox, Wings Over Wyoming, Angela Douglas, Slim Jim 001. I like when people still have names on the internet that have numbers in them.
Yeah.
Alejandro is here as well. Michelle Henry. Got a big old group of folks watching right now online. A global online audience. So.
As we see Matt Peterson, the Coinal.
Yeah. Don't drink his Gatorade.
Oh my goodness, not the Colonel's Gatorade.
So folks, this right here is Matt Peterson. He's flying that 1957 Cessna 172. It's been converted to a tail dragger. Don't add us. He's gonna give it full legendary aviation coffee beans.
Let's go.
And practice is officially underway here at Music City STOL. Colonel just getting used to it, like this new airplane. Like that was a very graceful takeoff.
Yes, it was. A little bit past 300 feet, it looks like.
Next up, we got to give a big round of applause for this guy, Chad Hall, one of the organizers of the show, flying that 2000 Aviat Husky A1 Bravo model right here from Gallatin, Tennessee.
Excellent. On that takeoff. Next up, we have Anthony Lee. In the 1979 Belanca Decathlon. An aerobatic aircraft. Just running out there. Gonna get us an official number in just a moment. Nice turnout from Anthony. Gotta do a snappy turnout in a decathlon. It's
Yeah,
much
you got
required.
it.
Yeah.
And it's funny because that's not like the most, in terms of like airplanes for STOL, like the wing is not.
Oh,
The
yeah.
decathlon wing is made to go upside downy,
Yeah. It's
not only uppy.
right. It's a it is a symmetrical wing. So I mean, like that's the reason why a lot of planes that, especially that aircraft, would be known for like floating down the runway, especially like a tailcraft, even though it has a semi-symmetrical wing, but still same idea. Matt Peterson on approach. His takeoff was 282 feet.
Into the flare there, left main touching down, keeping it on those mains.
That is a scratch called by Lexi. He's gonna get it nice and stop. Look at past 250 feet.
We have a unique view here, folks. in the announcer's booth because we're like, our heads are at runway level.
I like this.
It's kind of cool. Here comes Chad Hall now on short final to your left if you're here in the crowd.
His takeoff was 213 feet.
Easing it down, holding off a little bit of power. Good over the line for Chad Hall.
Oh yeah, applying those brakes.
Nicely done.
With a sub 200 footer. That's 181 feet from Chad Hall. Combined total of 394 feet for him as we get Anthony Lee dancing in the wind with the decathlon. He's pulling the power. Nice over the line, applying those brakes hard. He's going to get it stopped pretty much right in front of us. Oh, I wonder if that's short of 300 feet. It might be just a little bit over. So we're going to pair that number with 430 feet on the takeoff for Anthony Lee to get our pilot taxi. By the announcer's booth, give them a wave when they taxi by.
Oh, I feel snubbed by the colonel there. We were cheering for him, and he just looked at us and then looked away. Cold shoulder from the colonel. That's all right. Here comes Chad Hall by the booth. Let's see if he can get. He's too focused on. There we go.
Yeah.
Chad, see, Chad knows what's up. Playing the Husky. I gotta believe the colonel was like, I don't want to hit any of this stuff.
Oh,
He
yeah.
wants to focus. And here's that decathlon. I love the look, the classic look of a decathlon with this starburst pattern.
His
Just really,
landing.
really enjoy it.
Yeah, Anthony's landing was 300 feet, in case you didn't catch that.
So this class is really interesting because not only do you have the colonel is dancing with Lexi right now at the controls. I'm feeling personally hurt. This class again so interesting because you've got planes like the Husky, planes like the Decathlon fighting against the 172s and the 170 Bravos in particular, the 170 Bravo Mafia as they like to be called, and they are always like there's literally like no pun intended a dogfight between the Huskies and the Cessnas. It's been a really fun competitive thing to see. We'll see who else shows up this weekend. I think Joel Dobson's going to be dropping it out.
Oh, yeah.
Former fighter pilot. Nice takeoff by the colonel there.
Yeah, just a little over 300 feet. Somewhere around 320. Get that number. Sounds like 330. Next up, Chad Hall in the Aviation Husky. Flying power, and that tail's going to come up. You see that normally from all the Husky pilots. Looking like sub 175. 164 for Chad Hall on that takeoff. Wind's starting to pick up just a little bit. It's probably just a gust. Next up, Anthony Lee.
He needs a little wind.
Oh, he absolutely
He needs all the help he
yeah.
can get from the wind. And it's funny because we're kind of, the Decathlon is not an incapable backcountry airplane. It's not what you buy that to do a different thing.
Right.
And so it's cool to see him flying this right now. It's not making as much lift down because it makes lift in both directions technically, right?
Right.
It's just not like a STOL specific airplane like the way that like the Colonel is outfitted as 172 or the Husky specifically.
Yeah, or the Scouts.
The Scouts, absolutely, yes, same. Exactly, that's a good point. And here comes the Colonel coming around the bend, as it were, base of final there, now established on approach. What I was going to say, though, is you'll hear us talk about like Dan Reynolds in the Unlimited class, in the Chinook. That's another airplane, a very specifically built STOL airplane.
Right.
But if you put a little wind on that nose, that thing becomes lethal. right? Competitively,
yeah.
it becomes a force to be reckoned with, especially at the hands of Dan Reynolds, right? So every plane can always use a little wind. Some need it more, become more special with it than others. Here's the
Just
Colonel.
tickling the grass.
Yeah, there we go. Good over the line there for the Colonel.
Get it nice and stopped well below 225 feet. Man, that's a good looking airplane. Lots and lots of work being put into the intruder there. Converting it from a nose gear aircraft to a tail wheel 172. That landing for the Colonel is going to be 219 feet. Shaving almost 30 feet off his last landing. Here comes Chad Hall.
Ooh, plopping it in. Yeah. There we go.
Get it nice and throw down into the ground, as it were.
So that's a tactic you're going to hear us talk about a lot. If you're a longtime STOL fan, you'll know that that's part of it. It's not about passenger comfort.
Yeah.
You put that energy into the ground, it's energy that is not moving forward.
290 on that landing for Chad Hall. It's going to put him in first place right now. Anthony Lee floated over the line, probably giving up 150 feet. He's still going to get it stopped well short of 400 feet.
I'm curious what. Now I have to Google it.
Yeah, what the performance of
I'm
the
just
decathlon
the
is.
decathlon. Hold please. Hold please, Cam.
I need some good hold please music.
There we go. The Colonel noticed us. It's all I ever wanted. Notice me. There's an internet meme about that. Okay. Well, a modern decathlon is going to stall at 57 miles an hour. And that is not a big number compared to jets.
Yeah,
But it is on the higher side of stall speeds in STOL.
Man, yeah, that's so he's gonna be cooking. I mean, visually looking at him compared to everybody else, like he would be cooking coming in. He's been doing really well to come in at the speed that he is flying at. I don't think it's really at that speed. I think it's a little bit lower.
So Husky, a modern Husky, like the one that Chad's flying right now, power on, full flaps, stall speed is 43 miles per hour. So
yeah, that's a substantial difference.
And I know it's like 43 to 57, but think about what is it? The whole like energy is something like forward energy velocity squared, blah blah physics.
Yep.
Like that's a big gap.
Mm-hmm.
So as an example, this is maybe a better way to explain it. The landing speed of the Husky is 58 miles an hour. So Chad is coming in at the same speed that the decathlon will stop flying.
Yeah.
Like if the decathlon gets that slow, it'll fall out of the air.
Yeah.
Chad's just coming in at that speed over the ground, and that makes a big difference. Popping those flaps down.
Great technique.
That was really clean.
Yeah. So Matt Peterson's takeoff was 297 feet. His second shortest takeoff. Chad Hall. Get his number. Just a second. 169 on that. So he's pretty consistent with his last number, 164. Five up from that, but still a great number. Anthony Lee on the go, the 79 decathlon. Excellent patina on it. Sounds like 391 for Anthony Lee. line judge Sean out there.
Now, in the time we've let them go around the pattern right now, folks, look, well, first of all, look at the Colonel slipping it in. Slipping is when the airplane is what we call cross-controlled, where it's kind of like pointing not exactly straight and one wing is down. It presents more of the side of the aircraft to the apparent wind, and that creates a lot of drag, helps you descend, in addition to the flaps, which are those controls on the inside. But look at what the wind's done for the Colonel now. He's got mostly, well, just shifted even while I was talking, but mostly, ooh, there we go, holding it off. Good over the line for Matt Peterson. That wind, look at the difference that makes between, it's now more of a headwind for them. It's still variable. I would call it like more than light and variable, but if you look at that windsock in the distance, folks, the wind is coming right down the pipe. Now it's kind of shifting into a crosswind from the pilot's right. Now it's more head-on again.
Yes, it's shifting in that right quartering, like headwind. It's getting there. So there's a lot of crab work and a lot of slipping going on right now.
Oh, good for Chad Hall. Nice.
So slow.
He's got to be real happy with that.
Yeah, that's got to be great.
Especially as like the hometown pilot.
Oh, yeah.
We got a lot of Tennessee pilots, actually.
We do. This is some of their only shows that they show up to. Like Anthony, I remember that aircraft from a couple of years ago. I wasn't here last year, but that the Decathlon is competing with us exclusively at this competition, Music City STOL. Speaking of him right now, Anthony Leon final.
Ooh, it just looks so much faster.
Yeah, and that looks like it's a scratch.
He's really working that plane, though, considering what he's working with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And here's the thing, like, stopped in, what is that, probably 300, maybe 350 feet?
Yeah.
Like, my Cessna, when I fly my Cessna, normal operations are like 1,000 feet for a takeoff or a landing, right? I'm starting to wonder as like what I would air quote standard Cessna pilot. I'm starting to wonder about like landing distances when the runway is shorter than 3,000 feet. I'm like, oh no, I need to think about it.
Yeah.
I need to think about the conditions 2,500 feet because I'm not at the proficiency level that these pilots are. So that was the first heat of practice for the backcountry class, and here's the. It's getting more exciting, Cam. Look who showed up.
Oh yeah, our second tail dragger 172, Joel Dobson. Also got Jeff Harrell in the 2016 American Champion Scout, Jerry Clemens in the 2008 Aviation Husky A1C, and then also in the A1C is Brad Crawford in 2011.
Brad, okay, so there's two stories here, right? We've got Joel Dobson and Moxie.
Yep.
Great pilot, former fighter pilot. You'll see the precision in the way he controls the airplane. This is that 172/170 fight between the Huskies that I was talking about.
Yep.
And Joel and Matt Peterson are doing that. But then there's this new kind of interesting story. So it used to be kind of like the Clemens family. So two airplanes back, the red and black Husky. That's Jerry Clemens, him and his nephew, Austin Clemens, always fighting against like Jeff Pohl and Joel Dobson. So there's like the 170, 172 versus the Husky thing going on. But the new thing for me is the guy at the back of the heat, Brad Crawford. And you'll see why in a second. Here's Joel Dobson now. That was like perfectly timed.
Yeah. I mean, not too late, not too early, just perfect. It's gonna get him a great number. 207 for Joel Dobson. Jeff Harrell in the American Champion Scout. So this aircraft is pretty much the same fuselage as the Decathlon, but you can see that it's got a longer wing. It's got flaps, tail up. He's telling me some things. He's got a new technique that he's using. Whoa!
Okay.
And you can see the difference between Decathlon and a Scout.
Right.
One is purposely built for aerobatics, and
Yeah.
the other one is purposely built for the backcountry.
I think it'd be interesting, just fun to see the two of them fly right one after another at the same time, and
Yeah.
then separately. What would happen though is that the decathlon would be like, and I'm upside down. What do you think of that? Right? Okay, Jerry Clemens, watch the precision as he brings the tail up. Whoa! What do you call that, Cam? Looking for pennies?
Looking for pennies, that's what Katrina calls it. Yeah.
Katrina in the chat, really good about. I love that, looking for pennies. Now this guy is going to look for some pennies too. He's going to maybe look for quarters.
Yeah. I mean, he is always tickling the grass, it seems. Tail slowly comes up.
Yeah.
Just, I mean, literally looking at the grass for a second.
When I get over here, that he always thinks it's bright. I'm in the clouds.
It looked like he was clearing the controls as he was flying off.
Yeah.
Just so much happening in the cockpit with him right now.
From here to there, it's going to be, right? It's going to have to change.
So
I'm
we have
trying to do it
control
on the
back
fly.
on base final.
Let's go.
Those nice big wag lights. He's going to slip it in and lose that altitude like Ryan was talking about. Also got some oncoming traffic.
Got two planes coming in,
Transient
one on the
traffic
regular
looks like a
runway.
diamond. A D8
That's trippy.
of some type, maybe. No, it's larger than that. Looks like a 310 actually. Coming in on final along with Joel Dobson.
Look at him just riding the edge, using that throttle to hold the airplane in the air. Ooh! And a scratch on the first one.
He's not going to be happy about that.
Folks, while we sit here,
We get confection.
we got confection. So I've got a box here from Mimi's Macarons and Sweets. You call them macarons or macarons down here?
I say
Macaron, we're gonna run with it. And there is a little box here of sweets that they've delivered to us, and you should go check them out. Look at these flavors here. Carrot, there's like an actual carrot cake, German chocolate,
yes.
hot chocolate, raspberry ganache, fruity pebbles. We might have to fight over that one, Cam.
Yeah.
I think they're for us. Are we allowed to eat them? I don't
We are
even
allowed
know.
to eat them. I'm
They're-
going to say yes.
We're gonna say that they were bright. It says, it says enjoy. So that's. Oh, I almost dumped them out on camera. Here, hang on. But look at how delicious that.
Yeah.
Okay, I did not do a good Vanna White. They're very like that was kind of just a pile I did, but they look delicious. You should go check them out, and all the other vendors here at Music City STOL. Thank you very much for sending those to the booth, Jerry Clemens.
All right.
Woo!
Yeah.
And he's got his little advantage thing working for him there, going into reverse thrust.
Right, the secret weapon. Don't have any landing numbers for him yet. A few of them scratched. Brad Crawford on short final. He's going to keep it low and slow. So using that rudder, keep the wings level as opposed to the ailerons at that slow speed. Get it good across the line.
So we saw something change in Brad this year, right? Like we saw him I mean, he is you've talked about this before, Ken, like a former aerobatic pilot. I think still flies aerobatics, but like that precision comes over into his STOL flying, and that's why you can see him doing some of these really interesting like aircraft control things like he was doing just then, the way he gets the tail up and taxis around. Starting in Pinedale, Wyoming, he really has been pulling out all the stops. It's like he went from being like a sometimes competitor. Jerry Clemens like, I will pay attention to you, you pay attention to me. Between the two of them, man, they're another, not to overuse the term, but a dogfight, right?
Yeah, absolutely. as the snarling husky tail taxis in front of us. But yeah, it's essentially a dogfight. Between two huskies and
I don't know if you're seeing it, Tom, but as they're passing by me, they're all like
all the
flying
decathlon
flags.
and Scout
Posing for the camera.
170.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just so much happening. But
That could be we could do that as a show. Ryan and Cam between two huskies. What do you think?
I like it. All of our husky pilots are cool too, so I mean that really helps. Joel Dobson releasing the brakes. Yeah, another greatly timed takeoff. Pulled the stick. He chose that approach where you pull the stick, then deploy the flaps, as opposed to doing it directly at the same time. I think we were talking to John McCardle about that at Oklahoma.
Ooh, everyone's looking for pennies. It's just practice, guys.
Yeah.
Jeff Harrell, it's like, was that, this is like showing our millennial that, look what I can do. I can do it. That's what's going on right now. Everything you can do, I can do better. Here comes Jerry Clemens. He's going to fly better than you. All right, that's my one song of the day. Here he goes now, full throttle. And he is so precise. Oh, man, we are tail high, flaps down, tail down. A little early. Yeah. Pulled a little early on the stick that time. Was not exactly ready to take off.
Next up, Brad Crawford. See that tail up. Everybody's doing the tail up in this heat. That's the dance. Ooh, okay. Yeah, that was, that's a prop strike.
Well, that's what I get for like talking big about aircraft control there. I want to see if we can go to the replay of that. So he's going to roll it out, folks, and pull over to the side there, and that is going to be a mechanical thing we need to investigate. Joel Dobson to your left.
Yeah, I think what's going to be fortunate for Brad is that ground is soft. He's still going to probably need a breakdown inspection on that, though.
Yeah, we'll have to see what he does. I mean, we've got mechanics on the field. They can inspect it.
That's true.
Joel Dobson coming in now.
Nice.
So the question I ask myself when that happens, when I was literally just talking about how amazing his aircraft control is, and then he prop strikes, is it my fault? Obviously, no safety issue there for Brad. Played it right. Like, there are some pilots who would maybe immediately still take off without the awareness of what had just happened. So I'm really excited that he made the safe choice there, pulled it up back, and he's going to go check things out.
Jeff Harrell just giving it the burst of power to keep that tail down.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting a little fancy right now, but we don't have a lot of headwind, right?
Right. Which is very variable at the moment. Jerry Clemens coming in with nose high. He's going to need to apply power.
Ooh, holding it. Good. He's good over the line. Sorry, Cam.
No,
I got excited.
Yeah.
Because he was just modulating that power, and you saw the thumbs up from Lexi there.
Yeah, there was a second where you could see his left wing dip just a little bit, but that nose was high, and that's what's going to happen. But he was nursing that power as he needed, so he got it across the line and did it a short distance as well.
Waiting to hear from race control if he's got any updates on Brad Crawford's strike. Does not look like maybe we'll have a replay of that.
Right now, first place Jerry Clemens. Combined total 215. Second place Brad Crawford. Combined total 257. Third place Joel Dobson. 311. Fourth place, Jeff Harrell, 315. Fifth place, Chad Hall, 365.
That's a pretty, I mean, it's a pretty tight grouping, right?
Oh, yeah.
Matt Peterson with, Anthony Lee in sixth.
Yep.
With 453, and then Matt Peterson with 525 combined. That's a pretty tight grouping, especially in the first handful, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Brad Crawford there, I mean, just not getting an opportunity to really show us what's what. And this is just practice.
Yeah, just practice. Get everybody lined up. Brad's going to talk to the air bosses, let them know what he's going to do. So we get Joel Dobson on the line. Joel Dobson applying power. That tail's going to come up here in just a moment. There that is the flap deployed. Excellent takeoff. All of his takeoffs have been excellent. They haven't been, he hadn't pulled too early, hadn't necessarily pulled too late either. He's just been pulling at that right moment. Jeff Harrell. Scout, tail coming up, flaps coming in, and woo! He's going to pull back the stick and it's just going to rotate in an amazing leap. Nice and easy, didn't even touch the tail on the ground. Probably could have pulled a little earlier. It's going to be 156 feet for Jeff Harrell, 161 for Joel Dobson on their takeoffs. This last round for this heat. Jerry Clemens on the go, pulling the stick back at the right time. These are your well-seasoned pilots, guys that have been on the competition circuit for 4+ years. Just putting the work in. Brad Crawford up next.
So, obviously a function then of the soft ground.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we're out there earlier checking out the ground and
Just waving to us with the controls
Yeah.
there. I'm still good. Everything's fine.
so Jerry Clemens' takeoff was 123 for that, and Brad Crawford, I almost said Clemens. Brad Crawford is 149 for his takeoff.
While Joel comes in here now, we talk about Jerry Clemens. Obviously, Clemens Insurance, a big part of National STOL, and we really appreciate their help. They're some of the most affordable and best insurance coverage available, maintaining the highest standard of excellence. Here's Joel. Oh, too close to call by Lexi there. She's like, I don't know. So we'll see what that one ends up being now. Here comes Jeff Harrell in the champ scout, I should say. So, and then Jerry Clemens behind him. We were just talking about Clemens Insurance and all of their support of National STOL. So appreciative. All right, Jeff Harrell holding it off, full stick back. I love it when you get that timed just right. Oh, hold the nose exactly where it needs to stay. Well done. That's a good tail dragger landing when you've got the stick in your lap and it's just elevatoring down exactly right. Feels really good to do that in the cockpit. Now, here's Jerry Clemens off and to your left, low over the grass. Now, he's going to start using that behind the power curve technique that we talk about sometimes in National STOL, where when you're low like this, you can safely slow the airplane down to the point where the engine is the only thing keeping it flying. The wing isn't doing all of the work anymore. Holding it off, working those control surfaces. Good over the line for Jerry Clemens. Getting her down and stopped. Brad Crawford. Higher approach. More of a stable approach coming in right now. Hovering it in. Good over the line. And a little...
Doing some differential braking.
Yeah, kind of like a little rocking left, rocking right there for Brad Crawford, but...
You can tell he's being very conservative right now. He's taking it easy.
I do feel a little bit like these dudes, and this is an all-male heat. These dudes, they got a little, they were getting a little competitive for practice. There's a little bit of excitement there, a little bit of adversarial competition happening.
There's a drag race happening right now between Joel Dobson and Brad Crawford. But yeah,
give a big wave to them, by the way, as they come by, folks. You got Jeff Harrell with the American flag hanging out the window. Brad Crawford's going to come by and take one more pass for practice. And then we've got up next. Going over to the Cub and the rookie class, the vintage Cub and the rookie class. That's what's behind Brad Crawford right now. Well, they gear up to go, folks. I want to talk about our friends at ICOM. Big thanks to ICOM. They're the radio people.
Yeah.
And they provided radios for our team so they can communicate. We also have those great yellow shirts on the line for our line judges, just helping us out with safety. Yeah, just really, really appreciate ICOM coming through. We had a trailer fire earlier in the season. You can learn more about it right behind us there on the rail there. There's some storytelling about what Cam went through and things like that. So ICOM kind of coming to our rescue with the radio side of it to make sure we can continue to operate safely. And we really, really appreciate that. Brad Crawford waiting for release there. If you're on site, by the way, and planning to attend the concert this evening, stick around at the end of practice. You can visit the vendors and listen for PA announcement when they gather for the security check before the gates open to public. So that's kind of cool. You can kind of sneak through security. Now, you can't sneak through it. You still got to be, you got to still go through security, but it's a little like pre-check.
Yeah.
A little practice pre-check. Okay, Brad Crawford, full beans, looking for Penny still.
Yeah.
Back on the horse. I love when you see all the judges point like that. Very exciting.
Up next, Carl Rose in the Piper J4. Don't see a lot of J4s around. Almost giving that Chub Cub look. Remember the Chub Cub?
That's right. Yeah, a little bit. So this aircraft got up significantly less horsepower than the others, but as I say that, look how short he took off.
Yeah, yeah. The side-by-side Cub, the J4. Scott Swope up next. Cessna 172S. The quintessential training aircraft. He's gonna get it up above, well before 400 feet. I mean, we're looking at, get that number in just a moment, but I'm going to guesstimate sub 370.
I mean, that, again, just so cool, right? Because you've got a plane that we all can learn it. And now Luke Lee in the Rand's S6ES. Little coal rolling at the beginning there. Now he's full throttle. Look at this airplane. You can almost see through the wings.
Yeah.
Very light covering material. This S6, if I'm remembering my lineage right, and if you're in the chat, correct me if I'm wrong. Rand's had some ultralight designs. Made the S6 as a trainer for those.
Yeah.
You can be safe learning to fly them. And then due to the popularity of that, said, what if we did a tandem one, bam, S7, which is what we've seen on the circuit.
Okay.
Brad Crawford hovering it in. Oh,
Yeah.
dropping it in right there. Good over the line.
Nice 3-point landing.
And that is going to complete practice for him. We'll have to go over to the over to him tonight and see, get the little behind the scenes understanding of what happened with that that prop strike there.
All right, I think we have an interview with Brendan here in the pits coming up.
A little bit of a balloon there. Now we've got to descend. Yep, add the throttle, go around. Perfect choice. Working those gear on the 172. But this is what I get so excited about, right? Like, I have the same plane. I have an older one. I don't have a fancy new 172.
Yep.
But, like, that's the same plane I fly around in. And look at what you can do with that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's really putting it to the test here.
Giving up a lot of footage there in the Coyote.
But he's going to get his stuff.
About the same.
Yeah.
Gonna get it stopped about the same distance as the Cessna. Gave up almost 200 feet. That shows why that airplane's so popular. It was part of that lineage of backcountry flight for that manufacturer, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So the 6 is the Coyote. Is the 7 a Coyote?
No, the
Okay.
7 is the Courier.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
the
Yeah.
7 is like what Pat flew, what Hal Stockman flew.
Sorry, I'm thinking. I see the 6 and immediately start thinking about the 21.
Oh,
That's the
sure.
Outback.
Yeah, that's all the same lineage.
Yeah.
Now, by the way, they're ready for us in the pits. Let's go over to Brennan. He's got Chad and Matt.
Hey Ryan, hey Cam, this is Colonel Uncle Matthew. I am here with Chad Hall, the founder and host of Music City STOL. Now Chad, as a founder and a host myself, I know these things don't happen just with one person. It takes a whole team, because it's a lot of work to put one of these things together. Anybody you'd like to thank?
Yeah, no, for sure, it's a village, and I think first of all, I mean, my role is really just a coach, right? I mean, we've got a whole group of people that make this happen. First of all, my wife LaShawna, she's kind of my backbone. She keeps me straight, keeps me out of trouble. And then we have a committee. We're all wearing these blue shirts with staff on the back. These guys work with me all year long to be talking about planning. This is a year-long endeavor, and it's a lot of work. But if it wasn't for those guys and then the volunteers and everybody that's out here with parking and our vendors, I mean, this event would not be what it is without our staff and our committee and our volunteers. They're the ones that really do all the work.
Well, I'll tell you what, you're not just the host, you're also a competitor. How do you feel you did today?
You know, I haven't seen the numbers yet, but I feel pretty good, actually. I haven't looked at any of my numbers since this event last year, so I got to go back and watch the video, but I feel like it was a good day.
Always looking for improvement.
Always looking for improvement.
Always looking for improvement. All right, back to you.
Thanks so much, Matt. Great chatting with Chad there as we get ready for the next bit of competition here, or I should say practice here at Music City STOL 2025. Scott Sweet's in the chat, one of our competitors.
Oh, what's up,
and
Scott?
Working cattle and watching STOL. I love it. He flies a Scout.
Yep.
And he talked about putting a beef. That's what they call it in the industry. Putting a beef in it and taking a beef to a person.
Okay.
Delivering a beef.
Delivering a beef.
A singular beef.
I like it.
Also, hi to Ira Walker, who's watching from Pinedale today.
Yo, what's up, Ira?
Great to see you all in the chat. So, kind of a cool thing, this rookie class, right? Like, folks can give it a go, as it were. And also the vintage Cub class, which we should talk about. Like, Cub class is a thing you'll see up next. These are airplanes that kind of fit that quintessential backcountry vibe, that Super Cub vibe. Well, the vintage Cub class is based on that J3, right? Like lower horsepower, no flaps, no external lifting devices, really. And so we want to make sure that folks who are getting into the particularly accessible side of backcountry flying, champs, like you're a champ pilot, Cam, and that's where you would fly when you compete. Not if, but when. Look at that. He's looking for pennies.
Oh, yeah. Pulled a little early. It's going to be well below 300 feet. For Carl Rose in the J4. 269 feet on that takeoff for him. Next up, Scott Swope in the Cessna 172.
It would be fun to watch Scott Swope and Scott Sweet compete. Rocking that Lift Aviation helmet.
Yeah.
Bright red, bobbing around in the cockpit there.
Yep. That's one of their helmets that they provided to us for our rookies to use.
Luke Lee waiting for his turn. Here he goes now. That was very gracefully done.
Yeah.
That's I don't need a lot of runway. I'm going to go get some pancakes.
That's awesome.
I love this class, too, this heat in particular, the rookie and the vintage Cub class. Here comes Carl Rose again. Popping it in there in the old J4.
Man, that's cool.
Yeah, it's just basically a J3 side by side, right?
Yeah. But it was like one of the turning points in that company because initially Piper did not want to do a side-by-side aircraft. And Taylor did. So Taylor designed the J3. And then it was improved upon, and Taylor was asked to leave, essentially. Because he wanted that side-by-side, then he created the Taylor craft.
Ooh, slipping it around the bend there in the 172.
All right. He's going to go
yeah,
around.
Gotta go around.
That was a
Yeah,
little spicy.
a little spicy.
It looked good, though.
It did. It looked super cool. I wonder if that was an Air Boss thing. If the Air Bosses were like, hey, buddy, maybe just try again. Because he was really tight, right? He was like really tight and quite high. Came around tight to the landing zone and high, and that's always a good. As long as you got engine power, go around, man.
Yeah.
Like, we don't need to force it here. That looked really cool. And honestly, like, cool style points happening on the left right now, too, in the S6 Coyote.
Yeah.
Settling in there. Look at the cockpit, folks. When Luke taxis by, the instrument panel is remarkably Spartan.
Yeah.
Ooh. Looks like maybe a little too short.
Oh,
yeah, a
it's a
little too
stretch.
short for Luke Lee there from Jonesboro, Tennessee.
All right. Scott coming in on base final. Still a little spicy, but
I mean, it also is going to look more spicy than these other airplanes because it is just a bigger, heavier, faster airplane.
that is true. He looks like he's more assured on his approach this time.
Good over the line.
Oh yeah. He's gonna lock up those brakes for sure.
Just compress that nose gear. I don't think it can compress any more than that.
Yeah, I mean, and it's just a little bit over 300 feet. So I mean, very happy.
Dude, that is an insane. Those are insane numbers in a 172.
I mean, yeah, I've never put down a number like that in the 172.
I don't even like. I feel personally attacked. Feel personally attacked by that. So that is going to wrap up the Vintage Cub and Rookie class practice, I think, right? Are we We got one more? We got one more.
Okay.
No, I got excited.
Yeah. See that T6. T6, I'm pretty sure. Nope. BT1, that's going to be S&J.
Good spotting there, Cam.
Yeah.
So we got one more, and then we're going to be wrapping up these classes. So yeah, look as Luke Lee comes by here. Like the instrument panel is like a sliver. It's just a T.
Oh, yeah, there's nothing in there, just the essentials.
I love that, though, because you're not thinking, like,
Yeah.
you know, like even my 1970s era 172 has like just a lot of, it's like a video game in there in some of the places. So like it's definitely nice to have just what you need only, and then you got the extra visibility.
Yeah.
And that for me, if you're not flying to go a place, you don't need all that tech. There's something very freeing about just being like at one with the wind.
All them dang kids with their screens.
Yeah, screen time. Zombies. My kids are zombies when they're on the screen.
Yeah.
I'll be like, kids, dinner time. I'll say it like 5 times, and then I'll give up. And then my younger girl will be like, Dad, I'm hungry. And I'll be like, yeah, dude. Yes, it's cold, and it's sitting there for you. Dad life. All right. So we got one more to go in the Vintage Cub and Rookie practice heat here at Music City STOL 2025. Up next will be the Cub class. We're going to watch Ryan Melendez fly. Good to see him back on the circuit. Can't make all of them, right? It's just so many events, and it's hard to get these airplanes across the country sometimes. And so Ryan's been off doing his day job, and now he's back to compete with us this weekend. Well done there in the J4. Carl Rose at the controls, and that's someone who, look at these scores, by the way. His first score, 757 combined. Second one was a scratch, but even with the scratch, the total, I might be reading the sheet wrong here. But I was going to say a big improvement end over end. Scott Swope, who's on the... No, that's Luke Lee. So Luke Lee has had pretty good consistency here in that 600-ish range combined. There goes Scott Swope dragging the tie down through the dirt. Love that. Now he's going to get those flaps up. And he's got electric flaps, folks, which means he's got to nurse those up instead of just like slamming it and letting the electric motor control the flaps. He's got to actually hold onto the control. That's a little Cessna tip. while we have our friend Carl Rose coming in the J4, we were supposed to have another competitor here with us, Ben Lehman, in a Piper J3. Couldn't make it today due to an accident that happened last night. Waiting for the, good on the brakes there. Getting her, stop bouncing that tail. So everyone at National STOL just wanted to send our wishes to Ben. We got a note from him that he was in an accident last night with an automotive accident. I should be clear, and is having ankle surgery this morning, and so he couldn't make the competition. And Ben, I just want to make sure you know that everyone here at National STOL, you're in our thoughts. We hope you have a speedy recovery. Here comes Luke Lee now in the Rans S6. See, just real consistent. His takeoff that last time was a bit longer, but that landing was considerably better. So he's just dialing it in. And here comes Scott Swope swooping it base to final. And rolling out, flaps are coming down. He's going to be descending down into ground effect just above the grass there.
Might have a light tailwind looking at our flags.
Yeah, just a slight one, pushing him a little bit further down the course.
Ooh.
Well done.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And look at the main wheels just sliding for the last 150 feet. Not afraid to really work the gear on that 172. So again, our wishes, our best wishes here at National STOL over to Ben. He's supposed to be competing this weekend and won't be able to. He's got to get some stuff patched up, but hopefully he'll come join us next year. Music City STOL 2026. Some other folks to say hi to in the chat real quick before we head off to a little bit of a break. I want to say hi to Katrina, Angelica as well, 86 LBR, a lot of folks, John Walren in the chat as well. So hello to all of you. We will be right back. Look, we have the S&J getting ready to take off, I think, here. We'll be right back afterward from our sponsors for more practice here in Gallatin, Tennessee.
With a cup of coffee.
What's Gallatin like?
It's kind of like and it's close to Nashville. Yeah, but without all the and there's a ton of stuff to do.
Wow.
Yeah, you get it. And so does Gallatin.
Connect with pilots worldwide. Watch your flights unfold with accurate terrain, scenery, altitude, ground speed, time, and flight path. Improving your wind situational awareness by reviewing your flight path with wind data. Invite friends to join you. Debriefing with peers is a blast. Balance striving with fun. never wasting a chance to document bragging rights or continue to improve by connecting with pilots and instructors who inspire you. Just tap the record.
Special thanks to our annual sponsors: Legend Aircraft, Clemens Insurance, Behringer Aero, Sarasota Avionics, Lift Aviation USA, Flying Eyes Optics, Red Tag Art, Legendary Aviation Coffee Company, iFly EFB by Adventure Pilot, ICOM Radios, Tundra Tailwheel, Fly Orca. A special thanks to our local sponsors. Presenting sponsor, Volunteer State Bank. The City of Gallatin, Tennessee. Gallatin Economic Development. Destination, Gallatin. Sumner County Tourism. Brower Material Handling Systems, Flight Solutions, Jet Access, Property Pilots, Botero Carts, and Charlie's Golf Carts. And we're gearing up for the Cub class here at Music City STOL 2025. If you're just joining us at home, we're having a kind of exciting day, Cam.
Yeah.
Kicking up some dirt here and there.
A little grass here and there. Some winds coming in and playing with us today.
And it looks like we have switched to quartering, like a right quartering tailwind, which is the worst.
Yeah. For takeoffs, for landings, for all of it. Planes don't like the wind behind them.
Particularly tailwheel aircraft, like the one you see here on the line by Ryan Melendez. It's a Super Cub P-18 named Goldie. You can learn more about Ryan's charity, Warriors with Wings. It's a charity that helps bring young cancer patients the experience and freedom of flight. Here he is now, full bore.
There we go.
And that is what a way to come back from a break, and what a way to come back into practice here with Ryan Melendez. Dave Warren next at the line.
All right. Familiar face. He's been with us a few competitions this year. That nice East Coast tour, he was with us and won all the paper airplane competitions and spot landing. There we go.
It did not want to climb.
No, did not want to climb, but those mains left.
I mean, that's so hard, right? When the aircraft leaves the ground and then just hangs out there, it's really hard for the judges to see.
Yeah.
Foster Carney from here in Gallatin.
Yeah, he's the one that provided our trailer, our temporary trailer.
That looks like a brand. Is that a brand new cover job on that aircraft?
I would say it's, if it's not brand new, it's well kept.
Nick Ardillo from Dallas, Texas.
Prior KC-135 pilot.
Ooh, well timed by Nick Ardillo. And Lee Boyd in Blue Tranquility.
Yeah.
This aircraft just had a engine failure.
Yeah,
and he got it repaired so quickly, and he's back on this. I don't think he missed a beat.
No, didn't miss a beat. He actually housed it at Russellville, where my airplane's currently housed.
That wasn't quite ready to fly for him either, but again, why is that happening? Let's look at the windsock. They had a tailwind through most of those takeoffs, and so all that timing, you really get to know your airplane, and a lot of this in STOL is just timing. Some pilots will sing a little song, some pilots will count, and then you do that first takeoff, and then you start to kind of dial it in from that. Well, when the airplane's pushing you down the runway, the wind is pushing your airplane down the runway, is just not going to be as precise. Here's Ryan Melendez now on the left, nose nice and high, settling down in. Good over the line. It didn't even look like he touched down. Well done, Ryan Melendez.
Absolutely.
Also, well done to the Southwest pilot that brought me into Nashville last night, because I didn't even notice.
Oh.
It was such a greaser.
Oh, that's awesome.
Really buttered the bread. Yeah. Like, just really did a great job. I was like doing some work, and I was like on my phone. I was like, oh man, we touched down. Nice work. Okay, David Warren. Also good over the line. Watching him the last few competitions on the East Coast side of the circuit has been really fun.
Yeah. He's been putting in all that work.
Well, and it's interesting because him and Lee Boyd give off the same kind of performance energy.
Yeah, absolutely. Walk quiet with the large stick.
Beautiful view to the left there. We've got Foster Carney on short final. Nick Ardillo turning base to final approach right behind him. And that means, yep, there's Lee Boyd off to the left on right base. Holding it off for Foster Carney, and it was good enough to keep him away from the dreaded scratch machine.
Yeah. All right, yeah. Quintessential backcountry aircraft. Nick Ardillo low and to your left. Ooh, yeah. That is going to be a scratch for Nick. He's going to get it nice and stopped, sub 250. We always want all of our pilots to stop. Still awards that they could win even in a scratch situation.
Here comes Lee Boyd now settling in. Wind's pretty light, still a little bit of maybe a tiny bit of tailwind, mostly a crosswind.
Yeah.
And look at that technique, just ditching the flaps. When the flaps go up like that, so flaps, if you're new to aviation, what the flaps are is the surface on the inboard part of the wing. They provide more lift to the airplane, but they also provide more drag. And so when you retract the flaps the way Lee did, still in the air like that, you've just killed a substantial portion of the lift the wing is making, and the airplane is going to just fall out of the sky. Well, if you fall out of the sky 2 feet above the ground, no big, as long as you got the shocks for it, and he's got the shocks for it.
Yep.
That's a great technique. Folks, while we get ready for the next run of Cub class practice here, want to make sure everyone knows you can go over to the table left of the stage. There's a table set up, and you can sign up for DC3 rides. Pretty cool, right? Go over to that left side of the stage. You can ride in that DC3. It's like one of the earliest serial numbers remaining.
Yeah, it is the earliest, or it's the most time.
I'm going to look it up.
I believe.
It was pretty amazing.
I wrote an article about it. I had a fantastic ride. Even changed a tire on that aircraft. Ryan Melendez on the line right now in Goldie. All the way from San Diego. I mean, that is a long haul. There he goes, tail up, flaps the floor, pulls it back. He's got those double slotted P-stole flaps. Next up, Dave Warren from Mobile, Alabama.
So Dave Warren, that plane is completely stock. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like the performance you're getting from a completely stock Super Cub. Competitive.
Yeah, absolutely.
As it was made in 1967. Pretty cool.
Yeah, that's
10 years older, sitting on the line right now, the 1957 Piper Super Cub, piloted by Foster Carney. It doesn't look 10 years older because it's so clean on the outside there.
Yeah.
One thing that happens, folks, is with these airplanes, they're actually tubes covered in fabric. If you go up to one later today, you'll see what I mean. It's actually fabric stretched across steel tubes, and the fabric needs to be replaced every so often, and so that's probably why that plane looks so good. Here's Nick Ardillo. Ooh, well done, Nick Ardillo.
great takeoff from Nick. Next up, Lee Boyd in the Blue Tranquility. Fresh from repairs. He had a cylinder go bad on him.
And he is off before he even knew it. While they go around the pad, let's throw it over to Matt Peterson, who's got Brad Crawford in the pits.
Thanks, Ryan. I'm here with Brad Crawford from Hot Springs, Arkansas. Now, Brad, you're qualified in just a whole bunch of different aircraft, aren't you?
That's right. You know, flying's a passion for me. I've been flying for 20 years now, soloed in 2005. Flown over 100 different types of airplanes and been very fortunate, very grateful. It's a great hobby and a great profession as well.
But when you get your week off, you choose to come and do this.
Absolutely, yeah. Fortunate enough to have that schedule that allows me to do it.
That's outstanding. Now, you know, you showed up with the line judge in your airplane. Do you think that gives you an advantage?
No, Lexi keeps it professional. She's fair. She's a great girl, got a good head on her shoulders.
Yeah, we know Lexi's not going to cut anybody any slack, even if she needs a ride home.
That's right.
That's right. Back to you, Ryan.
Here comes Dave Warren now on approach. Great hearing from Brad and Matt there. Thanks so much for that interview. Dave Warren dropping it in a little short.
Yeah, going to be a scratch from Dave.
On the Brower runway here at Music City STOL 2025. That's going to be a scratch for him. Again, make sure to, folks, check out. You see Ryan Melendez sitting here in Goldie right in front of us as Lee Boyd comes in. Make sure to go to check out his charity, Warriors with Wings.
Foster Carney. Bringing it in.
Ooh, good. Yeah, I think good. No!
It's a scratch.
It was hard to tell from here, but must have been close, or maybe not close at all.
But yeah, thanks to Foster for letting us use his trailer in place of our trailer we lost during the fire earlier this season.
Now is also a great time to remember if you're being inspired. You're about halfway through practice right now. You're being inspired by anyone, nationalstol.com/vote. Good over the line for Nick Ardillo. I feel like he needs his airplane to be called the Armadillo. And to be Ardillo's Armadillo.
Yes.
He's from Texas. They got armadillos in Texas, right?
Lots of them.
He could paint it yellow, and it could be Ardillo's Armadillo. Armadillo.
Yes.
Okay, Blue Tranquility dropping it in on the wheels there. Scratch for Lee Boyd. Yeah. Ardillo's Armadillo. We got to make that happen.
The AAA.
Yeah. Oh, the AAA. See, that sounds good too. All right, Nick. When you watch this back, you can totally do that for us. Want to say thanks to our friends at Legendary Aviation Coffee Company. There were aviation passion flirts shamelessly with the seduction of coffee roasting. A premier air-roasted, small-batch, single-origin, specialty-grade, direct trade with a promise of never bitter, always better, bougie coffee. You can join this caffeinated joyride and elevate your coffee experience to new altitudes because life's too short for bitter dumpster fire brews. Use coupon code STOL10, STOL10, for 10% off your order over at Legendary Aviation Coffee Company. And while we're doing the coupon code thing, folks, if you like the eyeglasses that Cam Walton and I are wearing, go over to Flying Eyes Optics. I've got the prescription normal glasses. They got some magnetic sunnies. He's got the
sunnies.
Just the sunnies. And then they fit under your headset. That's the thing. They fit under your headset if you're a pilot. And so go to Flying Eyes and use coupon code National Stole, all one word, National Stole. The next time you're in the market for high-quality eyewear, you can also save 10%. We're just giving out 10% here everywhere.
Oh, yeah, 10% here. Everyone gets 10%.
By the way, if you're watching online but coming to the concert tonight, gates open to the public at 5:30 p.m. Attendance is capped at 3,000 people.
Oh,
so get here early, arrive early, and use patience. Pack your patience, as they say. Yes. Gallatin Police Department will be on site to assist with traffic and parking, so thank you to them for that. 3,000 people coming to hang out, watch some music in Music City.
Yeah, that's going to be really cool.
I think we got time for a little bit more practice action here in the Cub class. While we do that, let's learn a little bit more about Ryan Melendez. See him taxiing up to the line right now. Let's learn a little bit more about Warriors with Wings.
Montgomery Tower, Warrior Flight 1, hold short of straight right for a straight up departure. Warrior Flight 1 will be the first ones out. You excited?
Yeah.
So now we're just waiting for the tower to release us for takeoff.
Okay.
My name is Dylan Cavender. I'm 17 years old.
I'm Kai Matavolo and I'm 14.
My name is Meyer Turchin. I'm 14. I was diagnosed with leukemia, AML.
I was 5 when I was diagnosed with leukemia.
I was diagnosed with leukemia.
My name is Ryan Melendez, and I'm the founder of Warriors with Wings. When I was 17 years old, I was diagnosed with acute lymphoblastic leukemia.
So when Ryan took me for the first time, I thought it was just gonna be like chill, like we're just gonna fly, like nothing crazy, but it turned out to be something way crazier and so much fun.
Flying's sick, so I got to fly most of the way back until we got close to the runway. Eventually, I'd definitely be interested in getting a pilot's license or something like that. Maybe not for like a job, but just to have for fun. You just see everything. It's sick because everything's so small, but like you're only at we were at like 1,400 about like max, so you can still see everything because when you're in an airliner or stuff, you're really high up. You can't see much.
All right, do it yourself. Pull back. Pull back. Pull back. Hard, 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 hard. Keep pulling. Push forward hard. Whee! Pretty good.
just super excited to come and be a part of this wonderful day. I was having a blast being out here flying today. I don't think he ever really thought about flying or what that meant before. I think like the closest he came to really being in like a small plane or helicopter was on his Make-A-Wish trip, and he fell asleep in the helicopter.
Everyone's gonna get their first logbook. So there you go. And then we're gonna fill out all the airplanes you flew, and we'll get you signed off since we're all CFIs. So, and then we'll get you guys all t-shirts once we get some of those made. They'll sign you off for the airplanes they flew you in. You need to get your pilot's license, 40 hours of flight instruction, or 40 hours of flight time total. Some of that has to be with us, and then at some point you guys, once we feel like you can fly the airplane yourself, we set you free and you go off and do some hours by yourself.
It's just that easy.
It's just that easy.
Couple more days like this, you go fly an airplane by yourself, you're good to go.
You're almost there.
All right, perfect. I'll steal the pen.
And we are back in Gallatin, Tennessee at Music City STOL. Got Ryan Melendez on the line right now in the Cub class. It's been nice and warm today, nice and breezy as well. Had a little tailwind just a little bit ago, but it looks like we're back to a crosswind. Dave Warren on the line. Pulled the stick back, and plane was ready to fly. That looked good from Dave Warren as Foster Carney pulls up to the line. Foster Carney is going to have similar performance to Dave Warren, just a little bit longer. Sub 250 feet on that takeoff from Foster.
Nick Ardillo in the armadillo. I'm going to make it stick, man. Yeah. All right, here he goes. Look at that. Whoa!
Oh, yeah.
Angel.
He pulled just at the right time. Wind was blowing.
Right, just exactly well timed. And, you know, if you got as much time as Nick Ardillo has in a cockpit, sometimes you just kind of know.
Yeah.
He can see the wind. There goes Lee Boyd. Lee Boyd on the roll. And on your left, there's Ryan Melendez. Bringing in that Super Cub named Goldie. It's so cool to hear about what he's doing. And also, think about the flight he had to take to get here from San Diego, California. Here he is now settling in practice. Good over the line, right on that Brower logo. That's a cool thing. And I got to wonder, having that, if that does affect your performance. You're used to seeing a green, you know, we got a line, but now you got a bunch of letters there. Really cool for them to support us that way. But I wonder if it does anything to the pilots. I'll have to ask him. Here comes David Warren now, swooping in. Flaps down. Working through a little bit of a burble there. I feel like our wind's calm now.
Yeah, the winds have calmed down.
Nothing on the nose for sure. Good over the line. Binding him up. Next up, Foster Kearney, a little bit higher on approach now. Good over the line for him as well. Rolling to a stop, getting that tail down. Nice. Right about 300 feet there for
Perfect.
Foster Kearney. And Delmont in the chat saying, no, Ardillo's is called the Bear because it is crimson. Here he is now, having to work the rudder a little bit to keep those wings level that low and slow. He's down and stopped just under 300 feet as well.
Is that the Bear TV show reference?
I don't know. And you'll have to explain that more in the chat. You said no, Ardillo's is called the Bear because it is crimson. Is that a sports reference?
Is that a blood reference?
Like a local sport? Whoa! Lee Boyd, by the way, hanging it out there. Want to say hi to Ed in the chat. Says, wow, what an amazing program. So good to see you in the chat, Ed. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. Oh, I see something coming out that's going to be super cool.
That is super cool. Also, it's a very big spider on the... I mean, it's not that big. I'm not a big spider guy.
Oh, yeah.
Got to get rid of that thing. All right, yeah, so that's going to be the end of practice for the Cub class here at Music City STOL 2025. Right now, let's go through the scores right now. David Warren, if my eyes are not deceiving me, has put down the best takeoff and landing of practice with a combined score of 2. Oh, no, I think that is incorrect. There we go. There was a score sheet error there. Looking at them now, Ryan Melendez going to be the top of that heat, currently in 4th place overall, right behind Brad Crawford and Carl Rose. No, I think that is a score sheet error as well. Jerry Clemens up in 1st, though, with a combined score of 215 for practice. So Ryan Melendez now in the Cub class, totally different competitive class, with a combined score of 271. Lee Boyd in 7th for practice, and Nick Ardillo in 9th with a combined score of 366 on his second run. I think it's fair to say they had some disadvantageous wind.
It was a tailwind.
And it still is. Look at the windsock right now.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Look at that unique machine, the air cam, the Lockwood air cam, piloted by Abe Gaskins.
So this is an exhibition class performance, basically, by Abe. The twin engine configuration of the air cam. We don't really have a place for it in National STOL, and there aren't enough airplanes of this size with the twin configuration competing to generate their own class. So Abe's mainly going to put on a good show for you today. The air cam is big. Like, look at it. People look at it online. It's really funny. You see online conferences, you're like, oh, that's an ultralight. No, bro.
Yeah,
It's got 2 engines. No ultralight, by definition, can have 2 engines.
Yeah.
But wait, could you? You could if it was light enough.
Yeah.
But it's not. That is way too big to be light enough. So It is gigantic. What else do you know about the air cam?
That it was specifically made for National Geographic filming. It was just, that's why there's open canopy, because they put out, I forgot what documentary they used it for that it was purposely built for, but I think it was, I want to say, well, National Geographic in Blue Earth, but it was something similar to that.
Like Over the Jungle.
Yeah.
And you want to have that reliability of the twin engines. These are two Rotax 912s, 100 horsepower each. What's wild about that is that that airplane can take off on one engine. And that's not a normal twin engine thing. And the fuel burn is remarkably low.
Yeah.
And it is just super cool. And then if you see a lot of air cams end up on floats.
Oh, yeah, that's
and they're just monsters.
Yeah. You can get unlimited view out of that aircraft. I mean, it is, like I said, made for documentary filming. So if you are a YouTuber, that would be the best airplane to have, essentially.
As long as you only fly when it's warm out.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think you can get one with a cockpit, though. They make a cockpit for it, I think.
I would not be surprised. I think you're right, actually. I can't remember. I think I've seen a blue one that had one full cockpit like that.
So pretty cool thing to see here, and I can't wait to watch it fly. Abe, if you're listening right now, I've never ridden in an air cam.
Yeah.
Hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
I got an offer for a air cam ride, but the plane got sold before I could get the ride.
See, bad news bears.
Yeah.
Hearing from race control now that it sounds like they're going to flip the runway. I think there's some discussion within the air bosses and race control right now about that. So we're going to see what they're going to do here. If it continues to be a tailwind for safety, we're going to flip that around. But now there's discussion happening like live because of the crosswind. Crosswind's fine. It's just if we are going to continue to go tailwind, particularly as the aircraft get lighter and lighter, that tailwind can become a safety issue. And so they're going to decide on that. It sounds like right now the word on the street, the word on the frequency is that we're going to keep it at runway 17, the way we've been going. And that'll be Abe Gaskin. Yep, there he goes. Full throttle in the air cam. Tail's already up. And you see what I mean? Like, it is so big. Like, it's a really big airplane. It doesn't look like it, but when it comes in front of you like that, it is just a gigantic thing.
But I mean, like, he was up before 225 feet, it looked like. That is a high-performance machine.
Next up is Matt Dorsum from Lancaster, Kansas.
Kid Fox. The Kid Fox 4 with the piggyback kit on it.
160 horsepower Yamaha Apex engine on the front of that thing.
Yeah.
Matt Dorsum's been cleaning up the season points on the East Coast. Dave Curley at the line now. He's also got a modified engine. He's got a Rotax 912 with a supercharger and fuel injection, estimated about 150 horsepower.
Yep, that's from Edge Performance. You see that bump on the cowling for the supercharger.
Didn't want to fly at first. He kind of like muscled it off. And he's just had a whole bunch of exciting performance all over the country the last couple of weeks, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Same with this guy, Eddie Sanchez.
Yeah, they were both at Bird's Backcountry Flight Festival. Eddie won it. I think Curly was third place.
That thing is a fire breather as well. Yamaha 998 turbo Sidewinder engine, 270 horsepower. And Eddie Sanchez, man, from Willis, Texas, knows what to do with that thing. I heard a rumor that you might be able to buy that airplane soon. Abe Gaskin's down well before the line and giving her full beans. back into, I don't know if that was a go-around or just a touch-and-go situation. Matt Dorsum coming around the bend now, sliding base to final.
Yeah, that aircraft also has a longer wing chord compared to other Kit Fox. He's going to do a go-around as well. I'm going to get torn up by biting flies in the process. Race control telling us that Abe scratched and then went around. Yeah, he said, Matt said that there was a tailwind on final. So it is.
Yeah. And now we've got a crosswind from the right as Dave Curley comes in. And one thing, folks, you got to remember that the wind where Dave Curley's hanging out right now can be different from 20 feet above him, right? Scratch for Curley in the Grasshopper. Eddie Sanchez base to final. Devil Girl 2.
Yeah, he's just hanging it out there. The nose high alpha regime, low to the ground. Ooh.
Good over the line for
Yeah.
Eddie Sanchez and stopped. Well done. He really, because he's got all that power on tap, he can really hang it out on the prop there. And here comes Abe now in the air cam.
Nice over the line. Got those tails, those wheels shimming. Decided not to really stop, but he was just a little bit over 300 feet.
So I want to update folks from the conversation we were having in the chat here as Matt Dorsum comes in. Nick Ardillo's plane was named by his aunt. Ooh, that was a smooth scratch by Matt Dorsum.
Yeah.
Very smooth, but still a scratch there. Says here, Ann says, it's a sports thing. He is not fond of the red and white team. His aunt named the plane. Well, I still think you should repaint it so it could be Nick Ardillo's Amarillo Armadillo. Let's see if we can make that happen. Ed, good afternoon, fellow bearded pilot. Yeah, I'll see if I can bring some warmth back to Wisconsin. Although I love Wisconsin this time of year. Get a little bit of that crunch in the air, that crispness. So the sport class is going to taxi back here. We got to make room for the air cam.
Yeah.
Such a beast.
I want to make a correction. Dave Curley was first at Bird's Backcountry Flight Festival in the Bush class over 150 horsepower.
Oh,
yeah, so,
nice job, Dave Curley. And then, of course, High Sierra. Stole Drag, we have some wins from these guys too, right?
Yeah, we did. I think Eddie took second place out there.
Stole Drag is another aviation motorsport that a lot of our pilots also participate in. It's a little different than National Stole. It takes a little bit more to be, it's a little less accessible, right? Like you can be a student pilot, get your pilot's license, and then immediately come and fly National Stole. It's not any different from what you do at a normal airport, but just turned up to 11. Looking here at the championships for Stole Drag right now. So we have Steve Henry and Rod Hewitt bringing it home in that class. Rod Hewitt in second, Steve Henry in first. They got a whole like bracket system in that sport.
Yeah.
There goes Abe in the air cam. Kind of cool though to see so many of the folks that are just absolute standards in the National STOL circuit participating in these other sports, and also some names I want to call out, like Annie Vogel, Pilot Annie, a good friend of ours.
Yeah.
Living her best STOL dream and STOL drag. And Annie, you got to get out to a National STOL event soon.
Bring the new Husky to National STOL. Yeah.
We've done the STOL drag. Now let's see what we can do in National STOL. There goes Matt Dorsum.
With the snowmobile engine on the front end of that aircraft.
110-foot takeoff for Matt Dorsum. See, the numbers just start getting smaller and smaller and smaller as the classes go on. Right now, Eddie Sanchez, the first person of practice, no, the second person of practice to get a sub 100-foot takeoff. Lee Boyd also did the same. Woo! Nicely pulled for Curly.
Yeah, he's going to stay in ground effect.
So Eddie Sanchez, the shortest takeoff today, though, by 4 feet at 92 feet. Lee Boyd had a 96-foot takeoff that snuck in there. Let's see what he can do this time. Combined score so far of 195.
All right.
That was poetry.
Poetry in motion.
And Eddie is off the ground, and here comes Abe in the air cam. Oh, doing a little flippy action there.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to get it stopped right in front of the booth.
That was a 75-foot takeoff for Eddie Sanchez, by the way. So now we're sub 80 feet. And yeah, just to confirm, that airplane is for sale, Eddie Sanchez's plane. So if you want to buy one of the most fire-breathing, insane airplanes on the circuit, you can definitely open up your pocketbook. Here comes Matt Dorsum in the Kit Fox. Good over the line, gave up maybe 25, 50 feet. When airplanes come to a stop, not exactly heading right down the runway, we measure from the landing gear that's the furthest from the line. Here comes Dave Curley and Grasshopper, plopping it down. Whoa, totally locked up those wheels.
Yeah, those Behringer brakes and wheels.
And then Eddie Sanchez, base to final now. There he is established. Little bit of crosswind from his right. You can see him crabbing is what we call it, putting the nose into the wind there. And he made it over the line and stopped. And that power, it's all about that power for me with Eddie. I mean, you need to be able to know how to use it. You can't just have a high-power airplane and YOLO over the line and YOLO it into the sky. You need to be able to handle that power. But, man, that airplane and what he can do with it, I think we've seen him drag that tail. What do we call it? We had a name for it. The Sanchez... There was a name for it. I can't remember. We had it at the last event. But that Eddie Sanchez signature tail wheel drag, where he drags the tail wheel for like 75 feet along the ground there before the mains touch down. And that is totally cool in National STOL rules, that tail wheel can be on the ground before the line. It will not be a scratch. Maybe in the chat you guys know. Ed in the chat saying also the great thing about Wisconsin in the fall is apple cider donuts, and I have it on good authority that they have apple cider donuts in Tennessee as well.
Yeah, there's some at our Airbnb.
Yeah, I ate some. I don't know if they're as good as the Wisconsin ones, but air cam.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it
can do
it
that.
Can do that.
I've never seen that before.
I don't know why we're doing that, but I mean, yeah, that's the thing you could do. That would be a scratch in the competition, by the way. If it wasn't practice, that would be a scratch because that's your plane's touching the ground there, even though there's no prop up front. Matt Dorsum pulling a little bit too soon, not quite ready. Again, now it's like we're switching to that tail wheel mode. Look at this beautiful RV-8.
Yeah, it's got that World War II naval paint scheme on it.
Absolutely stunning.
Yeah,
maybe the clearest canopy I've ever seen on an RV-8 too. It's like well done.
Almost kind of looks like Glimpy.
It does look like Glimpy, the J3 deployed from a blimp. That is a very deep AvGeek nerd thing that you and I both know. Look, here we got was it RV4 now coming in as well. He's got the RVs coming into land. Dave Curley. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, you go ahead.
Dave Curley's spooling it up. And he is off. That was well timed. Notice he tried to grab, even though he's got a tailwind, he's still trying to get some of that crosswind component on the nose. I guess maybe really what he's doing is turning that tailwind into a crosswind by angling off to the side there. Eddie Sanchez is going to do the same thing now. He's trying to minimize the effects of that tailwind.
Yeah. He said he didn't care about tailwind.
Here's the wild thing about that is it looked to me like the mains were off before the tail wheel hit the ground. And that's always kind of, it looks like physics defying.
Yeah.
Abe coming in the air cam.
Looks like he's going to bring it down. Is he on the main strip? I think he's on the main strip. But that RV, the second one that landed, another deep cut, was painted like a Black Knight, the Marines' Black Knights, which were featured in Independence Day.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. That first flight of the F-18s to go fight the spaceship was the Black Knights.
I do love that deep cut. Here's Matt Dorsum now sliding into a stop. So the air cam on the hard surface, by the way, so he lost his pitot tube. The pitot tube is the tube that air goes in and provides your airspeed indication in the cockpit. So you can tell how fast the airplane is flying through the air. Very critical to have that speed so you know how fast your airplane is flying. Dave Curley down and stopped. Nice. Really balancing the tail there for him. So without the airspeed indicator, obviously the plane still flies, but you have a little less information as a pilot to gauge your landing speeds. And so I think for Abe, he was like, I don't have my airspeed indicator. I want to use the whole runway to make sure that I don't have to come in too slow. I can be a little faster, a little safer.
Yeah.
Look at Eddie hanging it out. What do we call it? The Sanchez shuffle?
Yeah.
Something. Look at that. Just hanging it on the prop. Just absolutely expertly done. So they're going to taxi back for the next bit of action here. So a question just came up to us in the booth here about the air cam, about where are the fuel tanks in an air cam, and if the AI overview of Google is correct, it says that they're in the aluminum center section of the wing. A dedicated tank for each engine.
Okay.
Up in the wing there. That makes sense because you wouldn't want to fuel pump it all the way up into those engines.
Mm-hmm.
If the whole point of that plane is redundancy and safety, gravity fed is going to be even more
all
reliable,
day.
right?
Yep.
So that's maybe that. But did we just solve the world's problems, Cam? Maybe we did.
I think so.
So we're going to take a quick break. Let's go over to, I think we got Ryan Melendez in the pits. We can check in with him.
Yep.
Hey guys, I am here with Ryan Melendez, who flew all the way from San Diego, California in his Super Cub to be with us here today. Now Ryan, this isn't the kind of plane you fly in your usual job, is it?
No, I am lucky enough to be co-pilot for Southwest Airlines, and that's the only nose dragger I fly because they pay me to fly it.
There you go. They had to pay you to fly a nose dragger.
Absolutely. It's tailwheel or nothing.
Tailwheel or nothing. And as a new tailwheel pilot, I agree with you. But how do you think you did today?
I think I did the best that I could with the conditions and the airplane I'm flying. I'm pretty happy with my performance. Every time I come out, I kind of learn something new, and I think this was my best one so far.
Outstanding. So how many National STOL events have you been in so far?
I think this is the 5th one. This is my first year competing. Just finished building the airplane a couple months ago, so ever since I had it done, the entire time I was building it, I had this competition in mind.
That's outstanding. Back to you, Ryan.
And thanks, Matt and Ryan, for that interview.
I'm just eating this Fruity Pebble macaron from Mimi's Macarons and Sweets.
It was delicious, yeah.
It was really good, but I'm still working on it. But yeah, you could go over there and pick some up. And that was a great time. As we get ready for the next class, the touring class, you too could talk to a worldwide audience with a mouthful of food.
Looks like Lexi's getting Jeff Abrams in the Cherokee 180 known as Piperzilla. Up on the line, he's from Ocala, Florida. He's going to show us what yet another training aircraft, something that you'd sign up at your local flight school, and then they'd probably have one of these on the ramp. He's going to show us what it could do in the STOL circuit. And even with a crosswind, he's got it up above 300, or before, not above, but before 300 feet. Judges are saying 320. I don't agree with that. I saw the mains leave well before 300 feet. Next up is James Abbott, a very accomplished military helicopter pilot. He's also going to be before 300 feet.
That thing was Fruity Pebble flavored, and it was delicious.
It's so delicious.
It was real good.
Holy crap.
All right. Focus, Dombrowski. Okay, here we go.
Jeff Abrams was 320, what the judges said. I saw it differently. James Abbott, 293. And we got Rick Holman in the mall.
Well done, Rick Holman. He just flew at High Sierra. He flew all the way back this way. And he's going to have to go all the way back home after this.
Yeah.
Cresswell, Oregon. What if he's got our little buddy in the cockpit with him today?
Yeah, if he's got Theodore the Skeleton sitting right seat.
I love It's for. I'm just reading through some of the other pilot profiles here. Garrett Hine, you're going to see flying a little bit in a mall, has some fun ones we'll bring up. Here comes Jeff Abrams.
Ooh, nice and smooth.
And, like, he compresses the nose gear so much. Like, it's what, an inch? It's like an inch between the prop and the grass.
It looks very, very, very close.
Hashtag a little gnarly?
Yeah.
A little gnarly is how it feels to me watching that. And so I never get used to it, but I'm always amazed watching Jeff Abrams fly.
Hashtag the weed whacker. 353 feet on that landing from Jeff Abrams in the Cherokee. James Abbott.
So good to see him back on the circuit. I don't think we've seen him since Oklahoma last year.
Yeah.
Or was it a Heritage Stole last year? Whichever one was later.
Yeah.
Great to see him. He's got a real pretty bird there. And a little fun thing about him is he can fly like every helicopter.
Every helicopter, including Russian-made helicopters.
Like here, it's just I'm just gonna rattle them off: UH-1H Huey, the Cobra, the Apache, the Pavlo, the Twin Huey, the Hip, the Huey-2, the AH-530 gunship, MD-500, the Kiowa, the Long Ranger, and the Hind.
Yeah.
I think that's literally all of them.
Yeah.
I guess not the Dolphin.
Okay. Yeah. Yep. What the Coast Guard would fly, the AW-155. I think. No, EC-155.
Rick Holman coming in, and definitely no stranger to getting that tail low in the tri-gear.
Yeah.
Did kind of the same here.
I don't see Theodore here. No, yeah, I do. I see his arm. His arm is on the dash.
I don't know if you noticed this, Cam, but maybe you haven't seen Rick yet, but check it out. So their aircraft is called Trike Envy, and they have stickers that they give out at every event to kids and people. But this year, or this event, Music City Stole, they got Theodore there wearing a cowboy hat, playing a guitar.
Oh, that's
Music
awesome.
City specific
Yeah.
mod.
I'm going to have to get me one of those.
That's pretty cool.
We need to get a Theodore replacement because he got lost in transit from Pinedale this year. Our mini Theodore.
Mini T.
Yeah.
Go over to the scores so far here in practice. Jeff Abrams with a combined score of 673. James Abbott at 681. Rick Holman coming in at 521. And this is a bigger class, right? So we just saw like the sport class, like the more fire-breathing light airplanes. We're back again, like Cam mentioned, into the like heavier hitters. Cherokee, like this airplane, I learned to fly in J3 Cubs and Piper Cherokees, just like this.
Yeah. Got some Cherokee time myself. Specifically 180s and 150s.
And then James is flying this 182 Bravo model, like it's basically a 172, like the Colonel and Joel Dobson were flying. But it's like you took a straw and just blew it up a little bit.
Yep.
A little bit faster, a little bit bigger. A little more comfy. Sometimes people talk about these airplanes as like the kitchen sink airplanes.
Yeah.
And the Mall, the same here for Rick Holman. Another like kitchen sink airplane. Carry a lot in these malls. So here comes Rick Holman now, unleashing the full stable. Oh, not quite ready.
Yeah.
Interesting, like it came off the ground there,
Yeah.
settled back down. He's got to
Right.
keep that nose low. I think the instinct sometimes is to pull back harder. He didn't. He pushed the nose back down to recapture some flying speed, and off into the wild blue yonder he went. So you're going to see this touring class, and we used to call these the heavies, but then we're going to shift over to the wilderness class, which is like maybe the heaviers.
Yeah.
The experimental touring class. Jeff Abrams now coming in.
Give up 50 feet or so.
Piperzilla.
All right. And line judge Amanda is going to give us our number.
Score of 412 coming over the radio for that one by Jeff Abrams. Here comes our friend James Abbott now. You know, he's flown so many helicopters, it's a wonder he can even fly fixed wing.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
honest.
Where do you find the time?
Not afraid to use the brakes. Slid through the grass for at least 150 feet.
Yeah. 333 coming over the radio on that. A landing from James Abbott. But seriously, like all the helicopters, the hip, the Mill 8 and 17, and then the Hind, the Russian attack helicopter.
Yeah.
Just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude's been around. He's done some stuff.
Yeah.
Here comes Rick Holman on the left. Settling, and look at how big the flaps are on the Maul. That's part of the secret sauce there with the design, and he's keeping that control full back to protect that nose wheel. It's like standard soft field technique.
Jeff Abrams taxiing by with his arm out window. An auto in the back seat.
The beast from the southeast.
Yeah. Piperzilla. Like seeing Snoopy on the side of that 182.
Here they go, taxiing by again. So right now, looking at the three of them, Jeff Abrams with a combined score of 769 that last run. His best is still his first at 673. An improvement by nearly 60 feet, down to 628 for James Abbott. And Rick Holman kind of leading the pack right now of these touring aircraft with a combined score of 420 feet. So full throttle for Piperzilla.
Oh, yeah.
That was really well done. Very smooth.
Very awesome rotation.
For STOL flying, it's like there's a lot working against him in that airplane, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he still can make it do what it does.
thing's not even a tail dragger.
I mean, it sometimes is.
Yeah. That's true. As we'll probably also see from these two aircraft as well. James Abbott putting the pedal to the metal.
Almost a tail dragger. That was very cleanly done by James Abbott. Rick Holman. So we're going to see this plane again. His son DJ is going to come out and fly it as well with the next heat. Quick control check. I got to say, that might be like the entire pilot training, right? Mm-hmm. Worth its weight in gold because you get to stir the controls before you take off. You feel like a fighter pilot. Okay.
Yeah.
Look, there we go. Drops the flaps. Oh, again,
Settled
that
back
left
down.
main touching down. The judges don't think so, though. There's a debate now. They're saying it left here, and the judge that just ran up saying, no, that left main touched down about here.
Yeah. From
Do you
here.
feel like it was here? No, I'm narrating what they're saying. No, the left main over here. Do you see it? They're having that conversation right now, Cam.
That is happening right now.
Yep, now Amanda's coming over to say, no, I agree. Left main touchdown here.
Yep.
That's exactly what they sound like. Okay, here comes Piper Zilla on the left.
Yeah, gave it a
holding
little
it off. Good over the line. And he's got a lot of energy to dissipate this time. Feels like it was coming in a little hotter. Wind is what's interesting, look at our flags. They're a bit lighter than the windsock, right?
Mm-hmm.
We definitely, I can feel it on the back of my head right now. There is a crosswind from the right for the pilots, but the windsock is not showing as much of it as our lighter feather flags are.
Yeah. Now it seems like it's trying to. It heard you. Now it's doing its job.
Well, really, the wind hurt me. James Abbott. Low and over the grass, holding it off. Kind of textbook, honestly. Gets rid of those flaps.
Good. Attacked by spiders and ants in the booth.
Yeah, we're getting devoured by the wildlife here in Tennessee right now. So when he removes those flaps, once the airplane's on the ground, you may wonder, like, why are we doing that? It's not the same. Some pilots like Lee Boyd are removing those flaps while they're still in the air to kill some lift and fall down. Well, that same principle applies, right? Like, if you're on the ground already, if you can remove those flaps, Rick Coleman slipping it in, super cool right there. If you can remove those flaps, then the airplane effectively gets heavier on the ground, right?
Yeah.
Like, less of it is being supported by the wings.
Right. Direct weight on top of the wheels. All right. Yeah. Just like you said, flopped it over, released the flaps, put all the weight on the wheels as he was slowing down.
I would love to see an aerial view of the runway right now because I feel like we've torn a few ruts in. Especially watching his wheels just slide.
I would tend to agree.
So that is going to be the third and final run of practice for the touring class. We're going to reset for the wilderness class in just a second. But first, a word from our sponsors. What's up, Av Geeks and Stole Freaks? Welcome to Lone Star Stole here in beautiful Sulphur Springs, Texas. It's Luke's for everybody, 2019 American Legend Aircraft Boac. Round of applause for Chuck Olmstead. In the gray and orange Boac, Ryan Shirley, everybody. that one. The unlimited class. It's what you've been waiting for. That's right, the beast mode, Coax, Colin Geneva.
Frank Knapp showing that he deserves to belong here. Whoa, that was legendary.
And we're back here in just outside of Nashville, Tennessee, Gallatin, Tennessee.
Yeah.
And we are kicking things off in the wilderness class. This is like touring class with the heavy experimentals. Don McCardle showing you what it's all about in that absolute
beast
unit.
Of a machine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Bearhawk 5, the thick old boy. Bird dog.
That thing is huge. This thing is also huge, and it's got some more stuff hanging off the front. Every time I see this plane, it's a little bit different. Luke Strandland.
Yeah, I can't even say that I've seen it with this cowling on it before.
Yeah. I think it didn't have a cowling in the last competition.
Right.
Oklahoma, it was running bare to the wind.
Yes.
Lots of horsies in this thing. Loud. It is loud. We'll see if it makes me feel uncomfortable again.
We're a lot closer to it now.
Yeah, Oklahoma made it. Something about the way the prop was tuned was making me feel like nauseous.
Yeah.
Or something like that. It was definitely just a lot of thrust, a lot of noise. Okay, so that is Luke Strandland. Brandon Korn now at the line in the Backcountry Boss. This plane, another game changer on the circuit. It is absolutely huge. 330 horsepower. And just the liftiest of wing. And you can see Brandon Korn showing you what's what there as DJ Holman comes back around the bend in the mall. Now, he's not competing against these other airplanes. He's competing against his dad and the other touring aircraft. Down and stopped a little bit, maybe 350.
Yep, something like that.
So he's still playing in touring land, but the rest of them are playing in the wilderness class, and it's where the beefy boys hang out. These are all airplanes that have been recently built, too, which is kind of exciting. The Bearhawk, flown by John McCardle, now settling down into ground effect. Well, not quite, a little bit more to go. But he's going to ease it down, get the airplane slowed down. We are basically zero wind right now.
Yeah.
Transitioning now to behind the power curve flying. Look at that tail super low.
Ooh.
Did he have enough to get it over the line?
Yeah, that.
Lexi took a little bit of a few steps back there and at the end she's like, oh, by the way, scratch.
Yeah.
Because you made me move. You made me run, John McCardle. The left wing stalled on him there,
Yeah.
I think, and it fell out of the air a little bit. So he's too far behind the power curve. Yeah, if Lexi has to move, I think you just automatically get a scratch.
That's an automatic scratch. Yeah.
I don't know if that's actually the rule, but maybe it should be. Luke Strandland now, he loves this high approach. You never see him down low like the other guys, so he likes this high, stable approach. He's got power for days on this thing, and he's going to hang it out as well. Roaring, good over the line. That made me feel a certain way.
Yeah, that does make you feel a certain way.
Yeah, the reverse pitch propeller there, similar to what Jerry Clemens is rocking, helps him slow down by actually pushing the airplane backwards if possible. Just like a airliner. Brandon Korn coming around the speakers there on the screen in the Backcountry Boss. And so what's interesting is each of these airplanes has had its own little, like, time to shine.
Yeah. Just coming in on the scene brand new. We saw this aircraft last year doing some funny things, flying slow. Then we get the Bearhawk 5 and the Super Murphy Rebel.
Yeah, I mean, so right now, if you look at the airplane coming in, it's got a Lycoming 540, actually same engine at its core as what Luke Strandland's operating. But Luke Strandland has twin turboed it and liquid cooled it to the point where he's predicting eventually when he's done with it almost 600 horsepower. Same little bit of wing drop for Brandon Korn, but look at that.
Yeah.
Just
buttery.
Lexi didn't have to move.
Man, those flaps are just huge.
It's a lot of flap. Big old barn doors. It's all flap almost, that airplane. So you could have almost double the horsepower between what Luke Strandland's doing and what Brandon Korn's doing. And what's also crazy is, you know, Luke Strandland's plane is heavier, but Brandon Korn's plane has the higher gross weight. John McCardle, who's taxiing by the announcer's booth right now in that gold and copper airplane. That airplane has about 400 horsepower and is the lightest of the three Wilderness class airplanes. So power to weight ratio, I guess I'd be curious to find out which one is more, if it's McCardle or Strandland. Strandland's giving us a little dusting in the booth. Thanks a lot, Luke.
All those horses working.
Brandon Korn taxing by and the Super Cub boss. That aircraft basically, if you think about it, is kind of like a Super Cub. You took two of them side by side and kind of welded them together.
Yeah.
It is very tall, and there's so much room in the back, you could sleep in it easily.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, even with 4 seats in it, you could still sleep in it.
Is that the one I want?
I mean,
I kind of want all of them. Anyway, okay. Here comes DJ Derek Holman.
Yeah. Oh. I couldn't tell if he settled back down, but it looked like he did. Like, it didn't touch. He settled back down, but...
Yeah, I don't think the mains touched. I didn't see that either. Okay, John McCardle. Poised and ready. Getting ready. He's got all the dogs chained to the sled. Here he goes, picking up pennies. That was nice.
Yeah.
Katrina, man, I feel like, Katrina, I need to send you like $1 every time I say looking for pennies or picking up pennies, because that is the best phrase of the season, and I just keep stealing it. All right. Luke Strandland. Slats on the front of the wing. Got an amphib.
Yeah.
On the roll behind him. His tail is up. It pulled just a hair too early, and that's the sound I was expecting. I wonder if he didn't have it spooled up all the way.
I don't think so.
On that first run. Chris Williams is in the chat saying, I imagine trying to sleep in Luke's airplane at like a 20-degree angle on the ground. I mean, I fall asleep in a recliner sometimes at home. So it feels like that would be about the same angle. Brandon Korn.
Ooh, yes.
Right now, the shortest takeoff between all three of them is Luke Strandland's first run with 120 feet. Brandon Korn, very consistent right now with 134 and 132 feet. Between the three of them, Brandon Korn is currently the shortest. DJ looking to get it stopped here in practice.
Yeah, with Theodore sitting next to him. .273 on that landing.
Right now, DJ's dad, Rick, out in front of his son until just now. It's almost like I manifested that.
Yeah.
DJ now with the shortest score between the two of them. His dad had the best score of 420. DJ's at 412. John McCardle, meanwhile, coming in, not scratching that time.
Yeah, it's up 225 on that. It sounded like 222 over the radio just a second ago.
That's going to put him in third place between the three of them for practice. You can see right now we've got Pat McIntyre saddling up in his Badlands Traveler, getting ready for his next practice runs as he runs through the startup checklist. And he's got the prop spinning.
Yeah. That's cool. It's a cool view. Seeing them start up. I get to see that all the time. Luke Strandland in the Murphy Super Rebel. All right.
So that is a great example of why I wonder if he's just going to roll out. He's just going to let it roll out. That is why the reverse pitch propeller is not a silver bullet.
Right.
You heard it twice, I think I heard it.
Yeah.
Like,
and then
engage the throttle and pull it off right away because it wasn't engaging into beta thrust. And what happens then is, obviously, if you're goosing the throttle, what you're trying to stop, it's not, you're
not
adding
stopping.
more power. Like,
Yeah.
you're adding more thrust into the equation. Brandon Korn, next up on that right base leg, turning into runway 17 here at Gallatin Music City Executive Airport. This airplane, I think Corey Robin said it best, is just shoveling the air out of its way.
Yeah.
That's a cool shot there, a little formation landing.
Yeah. Bringing that nose high. With those flaps deployed, nursing the power.
It's going to be well high over the line now.
Oh,
He had to add a bunch of power not to hit, and that caused him to balloon up, but it's still going to be quite short for Brandon Korn.
DJ Holman passing the booth. You said it at Oklahoma, but this copper and black on the Barrahawk is it's a great combination. It looks so good.
Really classy paint job.
I like the grill on the side of the cowling for the Super Rebel. Almost looks like a ladder.
He's going to climb it to victory, Cam.
That was good. Very quick. And Brandon Korn lumbering the backcountry boss around the national STOL flags at 300-foot mark. See the mains on the line from DJ Holman.
Let's take a look at how he's doing against Dad here. Still out in front. Yep, 412 to 420 in practice, so that sets up a fun little father-son rivalry as we head into competition tomorrow.
Go, DJ Holman. Plenty of experience. Yeah. Oh, he did settle back down on the left main.
Yep, that left main is still being a thing for him. It makes sense, right, based on what the wind's doing. If he's not correcting super aggressively, like that's going to put the right wing up and the left wing down.
Right, because we have a right crosswind at the moment.
John McCardle at the line now in Bird Dog. Best score so far of 344 in practice. It puts him in 3rd overall in the wilderness class for practice. Well done on the takeoff, though.
That's one of those situations where the mains almost left us before the tail wheel hit.
His previous takeoff was 122. That was down from 220. So big difference there. He's down to 120 now. That's his best. And that is actually going to be the shortest, tied for the shortest takeoff with this gentleman. Luke Strandland now. Really easy off. Judges did not even move, so it's going to be very close to what John McCardle just put down. See if he's back down in the 120 range. Brandon Korn on the line now. 124 for that takeoff for Luke Strandland. So his best still is first. Brandon Korn putting in the smallest numbers so far with 271 combined. And that is going to be even shorter. They're running forward. I bet that's going to be right around 100 feet.
Man, that looked great.
104 feet
Let's
on takeoff.
go.
That is going to be, that's actually one of the shortest takeoffs of the day. We have some folks in the sport class, like Eddie Sanchez, put down 75 feet. Think about that. Think of how tiny and how powerful that plane is. And Brandon Korn's only 30 feet beyond him. DJ Holman now working the brakes, getting her stopped. And as we look far to the left, John McCardle slowing that beast of an airplane down. That is a huge airplane. Go up to it in the pits if you get a chance. See it up close. Can he hold it off? Good over the line, plopping it down on those big shocks. Stopped just around the 220 mark. And these giant beastly airplanes are moseying their way around the pattern. We've got someone joining us in the booth right now. We've got Chad Hall in the booth.
Hey guys.
Welcome.
Hey, thank you.
Hey, nice flying today, by the way.
Oh,
Thank you. I was pleasantly surprised.
We were really impressed with what you're doing. You've been practicing in the last year, it seems.
Well, I've been practicing, but I haven't been able to see my numbers, so I had no idea what I was actually going to come up with today. But I think it was under 200, maybe, for at least one of them.
I know a guy that can find out for you. 1 second here. You have
you might have that information.
Your total scores here. Let's watch Luke come in. Still unable to. There we go.
There it is.
Really struggling to get that reverse pitch actuated the last two runs here. First was a false start. He didn't give up that much on it, but first was a false start there. Yeah, so Chad, let's see. Your best combined was 365.
Wow.
And on your third run, you had a takeoff of 169 and a landing of 196.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Your best takeoff was 164.
Okay.
Nice.
I'll take it.
Yeah, absolutely. So you and your wife and a whole team of people put this thing on, and we're having fun at practice today, but things are heating up tonight.
It is. We've got some music. It's Nashville, so we're going to have some little country music. And we had some friends here that were able to put together a show with Tyler Hubbard. That's coming up tonight. It's a free concert. We're hopefully going to have a lot of people from all over coming up here, and this might be a great time to introduce them to STOL. And, but I mean, for us, it's like music, airplanes, airport. I mean, it's just going to be the best night ever for guys like us. But for everybody else, we hope to make some STOL fans tonight.
I'm really excited to see all of those things combined together. Look at Brandon Korn now. That is like a helicopter. Gonna plop it in right around 50 feet.
Ooh, a little burst of power, keep the tail down.
Yeah, I mean, not a lot of headwinds with this. It gets challenging under heavy braking. Were you experiencing any of that out there, Chad?
You know, I'm trying to still find that balance before on the braking, so I don't eat some dirt with the prop. And so I'm probably could go a little more aggressively on it, but baby steps.
Yeah.
So this class is going to be, we're going to wrap this up real quick for the wilderness class. Right now, Brandon Korn going to be leading heading in tomorrow with a combined score of 271 and then 327 for Luke Strandland. John McCardle bringing up the rear with 337. Tight groupings for tomorrow. Chad, stick with us. We're going to learn more about Music City STOL and Rockin' STOL tonight. But first, we got to take a quick break, and we'll be back with more STOL action. A special thanks to our local sponsors. Presenting sponsor, Volunteer State Bank. The City of Gallatin, Tennessee. Gallatin Economic Development. Destination Gallatin. Sumner County Tourism. Brower Material Handling Systems. Flight Solutions. Jet Access. Property Pilots. Botero Carts. And Charlie's Golf Carts.
Sarasota was created actually back in the 70s, but we and Bert and Vince, my two partners, they've sold their business to Ryan and Sean, which is my two other partners now. We started around in 1999, 2000, just had one little spot in this hangar and we've built it up from there. So we've been here for 23 years now. And then we have 5 facilities now here in the state of Florida. First starts in Tampa, Sarasota. Venice here is our main headquarters, and we have Punta Gorda and then Fort Lauderdale, Lantana. And we have partners in Brazil, South Africa, Greece, Tullahoma, Tennessee, all over the world. We're the largest Garmin dealer in the world. So that's probably what we've been known for. So we do more installs on aircraft, general aviation, anything really under 10,000 pounds than anybody else in the world. And we've been that for quite a few years now. We've had it in all of our airplanes. Ever since we started with the Piper Saratoga in the early 2000s. We did the pulse oximeter and CO detector in there. We've upgraded to there. Now we have a Cessna 340 that I was talking to him in Germany last year, and he was like, oh, you got to put the cabin altitude thing in the plane. I said, well, send it to me. So we put it in there, and it actually is really nice. This aircraft flies above 18,000, 10,000 feet, so up to 23,000 feet. The other day, the cabin altitude light comes on the manufacturer's panel, and boom, the CO Guardian comes on and says, all right, you're above 10,000, your cabin altitude is above 10,000 feet. So watch out. So it's kind of nice to have that redundancy in the plane. So for a pressurized aircraft, that is so important for me. I get that oxygen mask ready, make sure my oxygen is good.
Special thanks to our annual sponsors: Legend Aircraft, Clemens Insurance, Behringer Aero, Sarasota Avionics, Lift Aviation USA, Flying Eyes Optics, Red Tag Art, Legendary Aviation Coffee Company, iFly EFB by Adventure Pilot, ICOM Radios, Tundra Tailwheel, Fly Orca. And welcome back, everybody, to Music City STOL 2025. We're gearing up for another bit of practice right now. Ryan Dabrowski, Cam Walton, Chad Hall, hanging out at the announcer's table here at Music City Executive Airport. And we were just chatting with Chad about what it takes to put an event like this together. You got a whole army of people behind us. You got a full stage back there.
Yeah.
Like this is like a real production, man.
It's going to be a big deal tonight. Yeah, there's Janelle, our booth. She's over all of our vendor booths. She's responsible for getting all these wonderful food trucks and vendors from our community selling all kinds of things. So if you guys haven't gone out, check that out. Walk around and see what our local vendors here in Gallatin have to offer. But yeah, it takes a whole group of people. It is a small army. We have me and my wife and our small committee, and then it just branches out from there. We got great volunteers, people that get behind what we do. They love Gallatin, they love our airport, and we're having a great time.
So talk to me a little bit more about what's happening tonight, right? We've got that stage. Tyler Hubbard's here. We got other musicians here. Big old concert, like security. Like it's like thousands of people here potentially tonight.
Yeah, we are expecting around 3,000 people here at the Gallatin Airport for the Tyler Hubbard Show, and it's going to be fun. We've never tried it like this before, but this is a great way to introduce people to STOL. This is a great way for us to fundraise for scholarships, flying scholarships for young people in our community that we're going to just pay the bill for them and let them get their private pilot license.
So while we've been chatting here comes Levi Nogues now. He's flying hot off the line, fresh off the line, Legend aircraft, Legend Nomad. This would normally never compete against this next airplane, but we wanted you to see him back to back here. This is High Strung, a Legend MOAC, a highly modified Legend MOAC flown by Brian Steck. That thing is roaring into the sky. And so the problem in quotes, not actual problem. The interesting thing is we don't know yet where to put the Legend Nomad competitively. It's that brand new. And so Levi said, why don't I fly with the adventure class guys, even though it's probably more of a Cub class airplane. Pat McIntyre in his brand new BLT, floating it off. On board with him there on camera. And then here comes Mike Babcock, also in a Badlands Traveler. A little bit of a different design on the wheels and the landing gear. He's also got an Apex motor on the front.
Wow, look at that.
In thrust, he thrusts. So that airplane is crazy powerful as well. And Levi Nogues is going to be coming around the bend on the left. But so, Chad, tonight, how much does it cost to get to this concert tonight?
Well, it costs nothing. It's a free concert. We want everybody to come out here and enjoy what we're doing. We've got some great sponsors that have gotten behind the Tyler Hubbard concert that have helped us pay that bill. And so we want people to come out, enjoy some country music, enjoy some STOL, and have a great night.
That's pretty incredible. That's amazing. You don't get access to that kind of quality of music just walking around.
No.
You're like Spotify.
Well, we're trying to do it a little bit differently here. Again, tonight is really about a fundraiser as well for our youth scholarships. And so we hope that by having these great artists come out here to perform and giving a free concert, that people will get behind our efforts to be able to provide scholarships for guys that want to not just be pilots, but be A&Ps as well.
We talked a lot about like how do we increase aviation participation, and like what better way to do it than just directly impact it. While we've been chatting here, the Legend Nomad, flown by Levi Nogues, down and stopped. That's a Rotax powered airplane. Brian Steck down as well in High Strung.
Yeah, Ryan, sometimes the biggest hurdles are the financial barriers to get that private pilot. So we just want to take that wall down and make it easy.
Here comes Pat McIntyre in the BLT. This one's hot off the line, working those gear, and will he get stopped right on the Right on the U, I think, of Brower. Whatever measurement that is. He stopped on the
Stopped
U.
on the B. Or the U.
Well, you want to stop on the B. The front of the board. All right, Mike Babcock coming in as well. And Mike Babcock looking really solid this time around. Mike Babcock is someone who's been tinkering with that plane a lot all season. I think he's been trying to find the right balance between what he's doing with the aircraft and also like having time to go get proficient with it. And that was a very like, if I'm Pat McIntyre in particular, I'm looking back behind me going, oh, Babcock's here to play. Like, let's go. And then Brian Steck on the front of it too. You know, this is a guy who's got a lot of like hard R&D time in with the Legend team. And, you know, custom airfoil built just for his airplane. Engine is insane, right? It's got the Gladiator 390. I believe that is water cooled as well. And so he is putting a lot of time and effort in modifying the plane. So you've got these 3 pilots with Levi kind of playing with him out in front in that Legend Nomad. We're doing just like crazy things to airplanes. We got in front of you right now, we've got a Rotax 916, a Gladiator 390, a Yamaha Sidewinder, and then a classic Pat, just rocking the classic IO 360 on the front of the on his BLT. So anyway, just nerding out a little bit here.
Levi's doing a good job hanging with him though.
I mean, legit.
Yeah.
Legit. He walked up, he's like, I don't know if it'll be competitive with these airplanes, but he wanted to see what it would do against the MOAC. It's kind of cool to see the 2 different Legend types back to back.
A little boarded takeoff there.
I don't know.
He just wanted to show off both sides of the paint job.
It is a nice paint job.
Actually, let's look at this real quick. I mean, his combined score was 339 in something powered by a Rotax 916. Next closest was 252. So, like, honestly, like, in any heat, that's a standard deviation. Like, he's hanging with him for sure, and he can even bring that down more. We've seen him fly real tight, right?
He's in the ballpark.
So let's see what's what here. He did just want to show both sides of the airplane off.
I love that swoopy checkered tail. I haven't seen that scheme before, but I really like it.
Yeah, the paint shop at Legend in particular, like, they do really good work, and I think it's, if I'm not mistaken, it's like almost all bespoke. Like everything's real customized. So from maybe what I would call like the standard offering from Legend aircraft to the other side of what you can do, the highly modified, fire-breathing, wake up in the middle of the night with an idea for an airfoil airplane. Here's Brian Steck. The MOAC, you see why they call it the mother of all Cubs. DC-3, let's talk about that, Chad.
Yeah, that's a flagship Detroit. These are some good friends of ours down in Shelbyville. They come out once a year to our EA breakfast, and we've been bringing them out here. The great thing about that flagship Detroit, it's a, I believe it's a late, well, I'll get it wrong, 1937, 1938. It's restored just like the old American Airlines. It's like going back in time.
Pat McIntyre, what a backdrop for a takeoff like that.
The DC-3 rides are for sale over here on the white tent, the flagship Detroit. If anybody wants to take a ride on the flagship Detroit today or tomorrow, they are giving rides with a membership to be a part of the flagship Detroit Foundation.
I did this last year. Best, I don't remember how much it cost. Mike Babcock just roaring into the air. You think it's loud. the best money I spent all summer.
Oh, it's not much, and I don't want to say it out loud because I'm not exactly sure, but it's not much at all. For the experience that you get to go back in time to experience something that we may not be able to experience many, many years down the road. So if you haven't had a chance to fly in a vintage, beautiful aircraft that's iconic as the DC-3, today's the day you should really consider doing that. That aircraft itself once carried Eleanor Roosevelt. I believe it's in their bio there. So it's got some pedigree to it, a great history.
It's that aircraft did used to fly for American Airlines, and little like nerd factors: 100 gallons of fuel an hour being burned, and it's got over 800,000 rivets. They apparently counted them.
That is a nerd fact.
And back then, the average weight of a person was 130 pounds.
Yeah, you know, I'm a robust fella, and the seats were a little snug.
Yeah, a little tight. Just a little tight in there for me too, but it was worth it. It was really great.
Absolutely.
That is a unique opportunity, folks. And there's other. I think you can also. Can you also ride in the other aircraft back there?
I would be remiss to mention the commemorative Air Force.
Ryan Steck working that tail wheel.
Over by the same booth, you can see my buddy Dev. They can get you rides in that PT-19 trainer, that blue and yellow open cockpit, which is amazing. Where's Joel going?
I think Joel's going to pick up his wife for the concert tonight.
Well, great.
Yeah, because he's from around here, around
just
these
down
parts.
in the Chattanooga area.
Pat McIntyre down short. We have a fight brewing on our hands here. Mike Babcock coming in now. Mike Babcock, by the way, rocking a Tundra tailwheel, one of the sponsors of National STOL. Give you some sweet tailwheel action. Watch him working in the wind here. So, actually, I think we're going to take a quick audio break just for a second while these guys taxi by. So we'll just listen to the sound of these buried power plants. Sometimes you just gotta stop and smell the roses and listen to the sounds of freedom. Aviation sounds. We've got a couple of big radio engines coming by here on DC-3. This is the sound. Again, one of the sounds, we don't know how much longer we get to hear those, but they sure are impressive. You call it the sound of drums. X916 has a gross weight of 1,850 pounds. Not bad. Empty weight of 960. That particular airplane's running 29-inch tires. It's got the TK1 gear, Shock Monster shocks, Behringer Aero brakes. Big thanks to Behringer for their support of National STOL. And it's just really fun to compare it to just a year younger, the MOAC right behind it, but piloted by Brian Steck. That airplane can, it's a little bit heavier, it can carry a little bit more, but it's running those 31-inch Aero Classics on the side there. And look, we got some jets doing jet things too. Man, this is a cool airport, Chad.
It is a busy airport, and it's growing. Nashville is growing, and so are we. So, you know, things like this help keep general aviation strong here, and that's really important for us. And all of our local guys with the single engines with the spinning things in front, we want to keep that community really strong. And so we really appreciate National STOL coming out to Gallatin and keeping aviation fun and exciting.
While we're standing by here, Chad, is there anyone we should be thanking for helping us bring this to the local community?
Yeah, there's a handful of people. We've got, for the concert in general, for concert specifically, Kevin McCutcheon, who owns Flight Solutions. He's the one that's responsible for the acts and the talent. Actually, his son Connor is going to be one of our opening acts tonight. Brower, whose names you see on the field there, they also helped to bring the concert to us, as well as the Gallatin Economic Development Agency. They have been fantastic. Our city in general has been 100% behind what we do. Very thankful for them. LFM Capital, Newton Nissan, and UrbanX have all pitched in to make the Rockin' STOL concert event tonight happen free of charge.
That's absolutely amazing. Levi Nogas dropping some amazing. It's funny, he came up to the booth, he's like, I'm just gonna go play, just have some fun, but then he's still putting down numbers like this. And here comes Brian Steck in the MOAC, that mother of all Cubs again. There's a little funny joke if you look at under the cowl of that airplane. Because it's water cooled, Brian needed a reservoir, so he took one off a Rotax engine, and he tells everyone that it's powered by a Rotax. And that thing, it sometimes does the same sound thing to me that Luke's airplane does. It just takes that really aggressive bite. It just makes my spine tingle.
It's got a drone for sure. A heavy drone.
Pat McIntyre spooling her up. That was incredibly clean for Pat McIntyre. And the one thing I'm starting to notice is, like, even though he's switched airframes, the flying by Pat McIntyre is still Pat McIntyre, right? Like, it still reminds me of what he was doing in the S7. He's got a new set of tools in his tool belt, but he's still flying like a signature style. I don't even know how to respond to that. That was insane. What's Mike Babcock putting down score-wise right now? These numbers are silly. He had a 53-foot takeoff. He had an 89-foot takeoff. He had a 77-foot takeoff. And then Pat McIntyre's coming in with 57, 44, and 38.
Those are crazy numbers.
Here comes Levi Nogas in the Legend Nomad. Say the first one of these aircraft was the Trent Palmer Legend Nomad. Ooh. I agree, Chad. I like the swoopy.
That is cool.
Swoopy checker flag thing there.
Levi's flying that thing like he's been flying it for 1,000 hours.
I honestly think Levi flies it anything like he's been flying it for 1,000 hours.
I would say you're right.
So Brian Steck's going to be down on the ground there. He's going to be, that was 155 feet for a landing for him. It's going to be longer for him than he's done previously today. Here comes Pat McIntyre holding it off. Good over the line for Pat McIntyre and working to keep that tail down. And a little sideways. I think race control might say, Pat, that was a little too sideways. You got to keep her straight. And then Mike Babcock coming in. And a scratch for Mike Babcock on that. Even with all the power, sometimes it's just not enough to keep you from scratching. So that's more adventure class action. Chad, what are we talking about? Like, what's Music City STOL 2026 going to be? You know, you guys keep adding it.
We just we're going to try to survive tomorrow and get through it and see what happens, because I think this is our third year. We're still very new to this, and I think we have to kind of develop who we are and what this event's going to be. And I think with the addition of Bold Aviation's flight scholarships for our community, we've got a mission to get behind it now. STOL, the music, and so it's going to really be hard to reel it back. So my hope is tonight we have a great show. We got a lot of people come out, and then even next year we're going to have even more STOL fans coming out for all of it. So that's the plan. You'll have to have, who knows what 2026 is going to look like, but I don't know how it's going to. I don't know how we're going to top what we're doing here this year.
I just have some random ideas for you.
Yeah.
Like maybe a water slide.
Water slide would be fun,
especially. You could add that somewhere on the airport. That could be cool.
I will put that in my notes.
Okay, yeah. Just add that in, some water slides. Oh, but I don't know what Mike Babcock's talking about. That was good, Mike. Mike's thumbs downing, but I disagree. That was like a really solid performance by Mike Babcock.
Great. I don't think he liked that scratch at the end. I think that was
that could be it. Yeah, just the one scratch. It's practice, Mike. You did great. You did great, Mike. Anyway, well, Chad, thanks for popping by. I know you've got a lot going on today and tonight, obviously the big show, and then tomorrow we've got the competition. Any closing thoughts for everybody either at home or in the crowd?
Absolutely. Check out our sponsors. You guys have been playing them on the broadcast. Great folks, great local folks. We love our people that are local getting behind what we do here. Check out our vendor booths if you guys get a chance to walk around our food trucks. We're just really happy that you guys came out here, and I hope that any first-timers, we're going to make some STOL fans out of you. But we just really appreciate that. I appreciate all of our team to come and make that happen. And I appreciate National STOL coming here to just outside of Nashville to bring STOL to Tennessee. And we're seeing a backcountry flying. This kind of community is now just starting to grow over the last few years. I think having National STOL here is a big part of that. So I look forward to seeing that grow as we keep doing this every year.
If we can help out even in the smallest amount like that, that is a true win. So awesome. Well, we're so honored to be here, and we are excited to bring the last heat of practice to everybody. We're going to keep going here and just get us over to the unlimited class. So, Chad, thanks for popping by.
Ryan, Cam, yeah, thank you guys. Always great to come on the air with you.
No, can't wait for tonight and the concert tonight, and then obviously competition tomorrow is going to be rad. So,
if watching online, come on out. It's not too late. Doors open at 5:30.
Ooh, that's soon. We got to get this unlimited class wrapped up.
Let's go.
And then Chad's going to do some amazing flying tomorrow.
We hope so. Yeah. The pressure's on. I'll do my best. I'm having fun. To me, that's a win.
Dude, you're doing better than having fun. So
thank you.
All right, sounds like we're going to take one quick break for a commercial. Be back. Look, there goes Dan Reynolds in the mighty Chinook, ready to wow your face off in just a few minutes. We'll be right back after this. And we are back here. Look at that. The mighty Chinook, Dan Reynolds, Valdez STOL champion, waiting for his turn at practice today here in Music City. Folks, we got some folks we got to thank. We got to thank some folks. Say folks more. I will say folks more. Thanks, folks. Okay, we got to talk about our friends at Behringer Aero. Luke, you saw flying a little bit earlier. He has Behringer brakes and wheels on his plane. They're a big supporter of National STOL this season, and we really appreciate all of the help that they do for us. Also, iFly EFB. It's a great EFB app that what's cool about it is you can actually use it on basically any device. You got a device, you can throw iFly EFB on it, your computer, your Android, your iOS, all that. Big thanks to them. Wilderness class is going to compete for a prize pack from iFly EFB here at Music City STOL 2025. We talked a lot about our friends at Legend Aircraft. Big thanks to them for all their support. Come see where all that magic is made in Sulphur Springs, Texas in just a few weeks. And of course, Tundra Tailwheel, you saw them on the back end of Mike Babcock's plane. If you're looking to upgrade your tailwheel, Tundra Tailwheel is the place to do it. Get rid of that shimmy. No shimmy here.
Ain't no shimmy here.
Can't do it. Hey, folks, remember, if you're staying for the concert, couple little things. The concert's in just a couple hours. We're going to have one more heat of practice here, wrap up practice, and get ready for that concert with Tyler Hubbard. You've got to return any outside food or drink or coolers or bags that are not clear to your vehicle immediately following practice before the security check for the concert tonight. So that's just a little note. Make sure you return any outside food or drink, coolers, or bags that are not clear to your vehicle immediately following practice today before the concert's security check. So we're getting over to the unlimited class now, and we're going to see some more competitors in this class tomorrow during competition. But right now, we've got Dan Reynolds sitting there in the Chinook. The unlimited class is one of my favorites because it's literally it's unlimited. Any way you want to compete, you can compete. You want to throw down with a crazy machine like this, it's a pusher prop.
Yep.
You can go do that. And there's, we've got other greats of STOL that compete here. Hal Stockman in his new Badlands Traveler with canards bolted to the front. Steve Henry doing crazy 400 horsepower snowmobile engines on a Highlander. Just insane things happen in the unlimited class, and you're going to see Dan Reynolds do some insane things this weekend. So he's up from Canada. This is not an ultralight aircraft. It's a full-size airplane. It can be put to good use up in the wilderness up north there. He's got videos of him landing Chinooks like this on the tops of mountains all over the place. So. And the visibility, too. Look at the visibility. It's like flying a little helicopter. So you're going to see a plane do some absolute crazy things in just a few minutes. And then don't forget tomorrow, Music City STOL is going to be taking flight at 10 a.m. As always, you can visit nationalstol.com for more information. So come on out. Come hang out with us tomorrow. Watch it really get turned up to 11 as the pilots compete. See what the weather does, see what the wind does. We've got some folks to say hi to in the chat. Alabama B girls and dad saying, coming to STOL for the first time tomorrow. That is awesome.
Come on.
Come check it out. We're going to have a great time tomorrow, Alabama B girls and dad. Was that 3 of you? 2 girls and a dad? Yeah. I don't know. Come on out. It's going to be great. Solo gaming moments in the chat saying, Flight, the final frontier. Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah, it really is.
Still doing that. Still doing the cool things in that. We've got a name from Poland I'm not even going to try to pronounce, even though I am also Polish. Welcome from Poland. Thank you so much for watching internationally in Poland. Brad the Aviator, greetings from Cape Town, South Africa. Hello, Brad. Thank you so much for watching all the way down there at the bottom of the world.
Yes. Welcome.
Hello to Wave Guru. Hello to John. Hello to Ty67, Ira Walker, and Chris Williams. Ingo Walter as well. John is in the chat saying, looking for the Legend Cub. Yeehaw! Yes, so there we go, John. We delivered on that a little bit ago with the Legend Moac and the Legend Nomad. Do you have to say Nomad the same way I've been saying Moac all these years?
I don't know. We have to talk to them next
Yeah.
month. Or at the end of
Moac,
the
the
month.
Moac. It just sounds.
Oh, yeah. Mother of all cubs.
Wow, that was good.
Thank
well
you.
done, Cam. So the Nomad, of course, the Rotex powered version, and that is just, it's really fun to watch.
It's really quiet compared to everything else in that class, too.
For sure. For sure. Hey, folks, while we're waiting here, you see all the people out on the line in the yellow shirts. Can we get a round of applause for those folks? Those are our line judges baking in the heat out there.
Baking.
Running around in the sun trying to get you the best scores possible. A lot of those line judges are pilots from other classes. So the pilots will rotate through to keep everything fair, make sure that pilots are judging pilots here in National STOL. So thank you so much to our line judges. Also, headline judge Lexi Duncan's going to be out there in just a second. I think they're golf carting her back in.
Just for Dan, since Dan's going to be the only one in Unlimited for practice.
Yeah, there he is. All right, a round of applause for Lexi Duncan, too, our headline judge.
Woo! Looks like our DC-3 is on downwind turning base out in front of us.
Man, look at that beast, that shiny tube of adventure.
Yeah. I've had a really cool adventure in that airplane. Got to ride a ferry flight from Shelbyville to Hot Springs, Arkansas, and then had to change the left main on it. Shortly after that, they gave one ride and then I had to put her up.
Looks like the line judges are getting out of the way, get a little distance from the main runway so the DC-3 can come in and land. So we'll get a little STOL operations by a vintage airliner.
Yeah. They found that aircraft and it was pretty derelict. It was a crop duster at one point in its life, so they had to clean it out, get it thoroughly cleaned. It had the pipes and everything. Still had a lot of chemical on the inside of it. As y'all mentioned, Eleanor Roosevelt would ride in the back seat, the very last seat, so that she was the last person to board.
Yeah, she always sat in the same seat, the rear seat on the right side, because she wanted to be the last person boarded and the first person to plane. This aircraft is serial number 1920. Beautiful landing there.
Yeah. A lot of the American Airlines, a lot of the pilots are current and former American Airlines pilots. You come and get checked out, get some DC-3 time.
And if I'm not mistaken, this aircraft, Cam, is it correct that this aircraft is the oldest of the remaining DC-3s that are flying?
Yep.
That's also pretty special. It wasn't conscripted into military service, so it ended up being used in a lot of print advertising in the 1940s. If you ever see some old American Airlines ads, it's probably the flagship Detroit. And they actually named their DC-3s all after the routes and the cities they were operating from. American's DC-3 fleet totaled 84 aircraft.
It's also a movie star. It's been in many movies. It was in Devotion at the very end of the movie when I forgot when the black pilot, his wife went to D.C. to get his Naval Cross and everything. They used that aircraft as the stage for that scene.
Wow, there you go.
Ooh, we got a S-61? That is an old Sikorsky helicopter.
That is really super cool. Normally those, I feel like I've seen those painted green normally.
Yeah, yeah.
So just waiting for the Unlimited class to kick off here. Final heat of practice here at Music City STOL 2025. We've got Dan Reynolds in the back there on your left in the Chinook. And we can hear the dulcet tones of Garrett Hine powering up in his Maul. And so that is like classic touring class airplane. It's got some fatter tires and a tailwheel configuration compared to what the Trike NV Holman family is doing. And so compare that, what you just saw, very standard, respectable, actually quite impressive bush plane performance, to what Dan Reynolds is going to do in this pusher prop Chinook.
Yeah, as expected.
I don't even know if he was giving it full juice.
It didn't seem like it.
That felt like just Dan Reynolds being like, "Hey, look, they're gonna take
We're
off."
just having fun today.
Love that airplane. So let's talk a little bit about that aircraft. So that is the 1983. So that airplane is just a little bit younger than I am. It's the 1983 Chinook Valdez Special. It's from Dawson, Canada. Powered by a Rotax 670. It's got a little extra juice here and there, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
He's got the slats on the front. He's got the VGs. That airplane empty weighs 540 pounds. Gross weight of 1,050. So think about how much you can carry in that thing. Oh, look who else is out to play. If I'm not mistaken, this is going to be Jared Garrettson flying in Pat McIntyre's plane. Or it could just be Pat McIntyre. We'll look as he flies by. Whoa, nice takeoff there. It does look like Jared Garrettson in the cockpit there. And so he will be competing against Dan Reynolds tomorrow in the Unlimited class. The only one we haven't seen yet is Charles Lilly, who's going to be flying a 2016 Cub Crafters. Here comes Garrett Hine now. And a scratch for Garrett Hine.
But a nice stop. Sub. Is that 225? Or that's sub 200, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's great performance from the Maul.
So a sub 200 foot performance from a Maul, I mean, sub 200 feet, I want to be clear, is insane.
Yeah, that is.
Like, think about all the things in your life that are 200 feet long.
Yeah.
And landing a plane in or around them. Now, ooh, we got a little bit of wind. Oh,
yeah.
We got a little bit of wind for Dan Reynolds.
Looks like it's coming straight down the pipe, too.
Here he comes, hovering it in, just floating her down. Bloop.
Yeah.
That is insane. Sub 75 feet for Dan Reynolds.
Excellent.
He's shaking his head. He's like, nah, it could be shorter. It is such a cool thing.
Yeah, he owns the rights to Chinook, so at some point, he hasn't started selling kits, but at some point, you may be able to buy a kit from him.
Yeah, they are spooling a factory up. I don't know if he's the owner of the factory or the company, but he's got a lot of mods, right? They actually call it the DR Chinook, the Dan Reynolds Chinook, because he's modified it so aggressively. Here comes Jared Garrettson in the Badlands Traveler. This kid, if you haven't seen other competitions this year, he's a full-grown adult, but he's a young man with a lot of skill at the controls.
wife Ashley's probably at home. If not, she's here.
Ballooning up and settling back down. Yeah. Look at him hanging it out.
Ooh.
Holy moly. So think about that. About the same landing distance as Dan Reynolds on that one.
Yeah. And, you know, looking at him flying it looked almost like when we were sitting down at breakfast at St. Joe for Pony Express STOL, and he was flying it, and everybody was eating pancakes and just watching Garrett just lumber the Backcountry boss in. And that was the Backcountry boss. He just lumbered the BLT in just like that Backcountry boss. So it's a testament to his skill and also the wind, because we did get a little wind.
We did get a little burst of wind. So here's what's really interesting, right? Like Dan Reynolds, not currently the shortest. The shortest currently going to, I think, Mike Babcock or Pat McIntyre, depending on what the score sheet is saying here. So our other BLTs in unlimited class right now between Dan Reynolds and Jared Garrettson. There is 10 feet separating Dan Reynolds from Jared Garrettson. Dan Reynolds had a 78-foot takeoff and a 71-foot landing. Jared Garrettson longer on the takeoff roll, 101 feet, but a 58-foot landing. That is bonkers.
Yeah, that is too much for so little.
But looking at this score sheet right now, it says that Mike Babcock, who is shaking his head and putting a thumbs down as he came by the booth. Mike, I'm putting you on blast for this. Right now, according to the score sheet, you had a 44-foot takeoff and a 64-foot landing, putting you in first for practice with a combined score of 108. So, I don't know, man. Like, you can take that win. You could take that win, Mike Babcock.
Yeah.
So now it's almost time for Dan Reynolds to take off again. His first takeoff was 78 feet. That's going to be shorter. Maybe the understatement of the year. I think they're all standing around the 50-foot cone. And that was a double pull type takeoff for Dan Reynolds too.
Yeah.
So he's getting it dialed in. Okay, so 64 foot, so it dropping down even shorter for Dan Reynolds now. And Jared Garrettson with a 101-foot takeoff last time around the patch. Okay, that was perfectly clean, but you just got an aircraft that's so much heavier.
Yeah, man.
Even though it's got a lot of power in there. So let's see, that was 101 feet was his first takeoff. Dan Reynolds dropped 14 feet between his two runs. Jared Garrettson dropping 22 feet down to 79. So he's still keeping it really competitive. Meanwhile, Garrett Hines goofing around in this mall, and love watching him fly too.
You know, earlier we saw the Holmans flying a nose wheel version of them all. Now we've got the tail wheel. That's looking sub 175 or somewhere around 175 for that landing. Next up, Dan Reynolds with the wig-wag lights on final.
So Garrett will be flying, by the way, against Right now they've got him in the wilderness class.
Okay.
Wonder why it's not the touring class. Look at Dan Reynolds
Yeah,
now.
just leafing it in, just floating it in. Ooh,
Oh, good! Nice one, Dan Reynolds!
I don't even know what he did. I don't know if he chopped the throttle. It didn't look like he dumped the flaps, but he just fell out the air.
So that is going to be now a 64-foot takeoff with a 46-foot landing.
Ooh.
For practice. That's still going to put him in second place with a combined score of 110. He's still 2 feet behind Babcock, who's in first place.
Jared Garrettson is on final. Just lumbering in the BLT.
Look at that. Belly, scratch its belly.
Yeah, good over the line. Gave up probably 50 feet.
That is just like, the physics of that are confusing.
Yeah.
And that, I think, is the story of the Badlands Traveler. Is just like,
yeah.
The physics of it are confusing. Like,
knew it from the beginning when it was called the Cessna Cub.
yeah, I mean, let's go real deep in the pedigree, right?
Yeah.
Back when it was so, what Cam is talking about is Cessna wings strapped to a Super Cub body.
Yeah, were they 172 wings?
150 or 170,
Yeah.
like 152 or 172 wings. I believe I've seen both, and now they have their own wing.
Yeah.
And that became the big differentiator.
And on the circuit, you can see all types of flavors of that aircraft, powered by everything from Rotax 916s to, is there an IO3 something on the front of that, or was that a Titan for this one? I can't remember.
So this one has an IO360, just like standard.
Yeah.
Vanilla IO360, which is wild that it can do that compared to some of these other airplanes with like Sidewinders and Gladiators and looking for pennies. That's the catchphrase of the weekend, I guess. We haven't said give it the beans too much.
Yeah. No.
Or stick full back heavy on the brakes, so I guess we're doing all right. Okay, so here comes Dan Reynolds again for the next run around. Can he take the kind of like temporary win of practice, winning practice? You kind of would almost for sure expect it, but he's still 2 feet behind Mike Babcock with a combined score of 108. Spooling it up, tails coming up. There we go.
There we go.
I think we're in the just under 70 feet. That might be not quite as short as the last one. I feel like the wind is more light than it was the last run. That was a 71-foot takeoff for Dan Reynolds. Jared Garrettson now at the line. His best takeoff, 79 feet.
Yeah, so Race Control was telling us about the Badlands Traveler. The first one was the 152 wing. Then the second one was the 172 wing. Both owned by Doug Jackson,
co-founder of National STOL.
Yep. And now he's rocking the current rendition with the new wing.
Waiting for the score to come in now for Jared Garrettson. That's a 120-foot takeoff, so that'll be his longest. So likely he will have his shortest continue to be 159. Really, for me, I want to see what Dan Reynolds does on this last approach. Here comes Garrett Hine.
Ooh, that was a good plop in. It's going to get it nice and stop ahead of 300 feet. Nice visual of Dan Reynolds with a, it's like a citation in the background.
It's like this jet just like, it's like Jaws like sneaking up behind him now.
Yeah. A little sporty for Dan. You can see him hitting some burbles. We don't really have a lot of wind right now. It's a crosswind, in fact.
Holding it off. Ooh. Good over the line. Keeping that tail down, just like you saw with the air cam earlier. You cannot touch the nose, even though it'd probably be fine. I think he's got a pitot tube up front, too, that you don't want to mash into the ground if you don't have to. And that leaves Jared Garrettson to come around the pattern. Right now, by the way, Dan Reynolds holding in second. Best combined score, 110, 2 feet over what was happening in the adventure class. So, like I said, it's anyone's game. A little bit more wind. Dan Reynolds is going to mop the floor with you, but today with light and variable, he's got to work a little bit harder. I also still don't think we saw the full horsepower out of Dan. I think he's saving that maybe for tomorrow.
I feel like something's going on there.
And Jared Garrettson's just going to hang out in the wind back there.
He's got all the time in the world.
Well, here's the thing, is that practice ends in 4 minutes. We have a hard out at 3 to get ready for this concert tonight, and so he's got 4 minutes to get down and locked. So, I mean, I guess we could be sitting here that whole time. Descending now down towards the ground. It looks like he's going to do that lower approach method.
Jared's hanging back to avoid wake turbulence. Smart move.
I mean, fine, be safe, whatever. But, like, we got places to go, Jared. And he is fully committed now. Look at that. Nose up super high. This airplane can just hang on to the air. Look at this.
Yeah.
Was it good? Lexi said she does not know, so it was close. Landing right on the Brower logo. And that landing is going to complete practice here at Music City STOL. By the way, that landing was 91 feet for a combined score of 211 that round for Jared Garrettson. So, folks, what a fun day of practice. I think we're teeing up some really hot competition tomorrow.
Yep.
I hope that you will stick around and come to the concert tonight.
Yeah, that's going to be good.
They're getting ready to fire up the sound checks for that concert right now. Tune in tomorrow at 10 a.m. Central to watch Music City STOL 2025. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for watching globally and here in the crowd at Nashville. My name's Ryan Dombrowski.
I'm Cam Walton.
We will see you guys tomorrow.
What's Gallatin like?
It's kind of like and it's close to Nashville. Yeah, but without all the and there's a ton of stuff to do.
Wow.
Yeah, you get it. And so does Gallatin.